Yes, sir. We back with another podcast. Welcome, everybody that's listening in. My guest today is Finian St. Omer or Omer. Which one is it?
St. Omer, you got it.
Omer. All right, boom. There it is. My guy, how you doing?
Doing all right, man. How you?
I'm good. I'm good. Life is good, man. So to get a little bit personal, this would be my last week working at a job that I've been at for 16 years. All
Nice.
right. So I will be done there at the end of this week. It's sort of bittersweet. I'm happy to have growth and be going into something different, but God is good, and I'm looking forward to new beginnings, a fresh start. You
Indeed.
know,
Yeah.
absolutely. All right. So tell me, where you from, my guy?
From Hunts Point, Bronx, New York.
Oh shit. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you grew up in there. That's where you grew up your whole life.
Yeah. Born and raised, man. Born and
Born.
raised.
Okay. So as a New York kid from the Bronx, the start of hip hop, the Mecca, right?
Right.
How was that for you growing up around that scene?
I mean, for me, it was pretty normal. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like the crazy part is like I was always connected to the culture and really didn't know it until
Mm.
like my adult life. But truthfully, like I already knew Tony Tone. Like I knew who he was from Jump Street. Friend of the family, you know what I'm saying? He was supposed to buy me my first pair of 1200s. He still owe me some 1200s, even though I got mine. He right here. He still owe me. But the crazy part is Tape Master. I
Okay.
know him as Sammy, right? My sister used to
Oh.
work for him at the flea market in the Bronx. And every
Mm.
Saturday we used to go to the flea market. I was like maybe what 4 or 5 years old. You know what I'm saying? She's 10 years older than me. So, so she's 15, 14, 15 years old, working her weekend job at Tape Master. And you know what I'm saying? I used to always tell Sammy, give me some quarters. I'm gonna go play Cubert. I'm gonna go play Galaxia.
Gotcha.
I don't know that that man is the legendary Tape Master. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? The crazy part is I did not know him as Tape Master until the year he passed when Tone posted rest in peace. And I'm like, I said, yo,
Wow.
he looked me out familiar. I said, yo, Tone, that's Sammy? He was like, yeah. I said, you mean to tell me my whole life I knew Tape Master, but I didn't know who Tape Master was?
I'm right next to him.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's the crazy part. Like my whole come up, I was always around these people. Jazzy Joyce taught me how to blend. She came to my house and taught me and my cousin how to blend on two belt drive turntables I bought. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay.
So it's like I got to see these people and just be around them, but it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm around Joyce, I'm around Tape Master.
Yeah.
Even um from the executionist, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Mr. Sinister.
Okay.
I grew up hanging out with him, you know what I'm saying, his brother in Queens. I'm seeing him at his in his grandmother house in the front room, scratching and cutting. And I'm like, all right. And the crazy part is that year he won the DMC.
Okay.
That's when I've been like in his house like every weekend watching him cut. And that's what he was practicing for. Like
So the whole time you doing it, you don't have no idea that this is going on.
no
You
idea.
just
I
over
just
there kicking
I
and
know them
hanging
by their
out.
first names and they superior talents. You know what I'm saying? So
Fire.
like that's how it was for me growing up in New York. I got to see all of this, and it was just like, all right, cool. I recognize their, superhuman talents, but I didn't know who they were in the moment because I wasn't like super plugged into this. Like I didn't start rapping until I was 13. I didn't
Okay.
want to do rap. I didn't want to
Okay.
do nothing in hip hop until I was 13. Like a friend of mine made me freestyle. My man Fred,
Mm.
if it wasn't for him, I would not be rapping today because I had no ambition to do this. It was like, I knew I just wanted to get money. Like, my mom's remember the conversation we had. She's like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said, rich. I didn't say any particular, profession. I
However
said,
it come, I just want to be the guy with some money in his pocket.
that's it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I wasn't like super connected with like, all right, who's who and what's what in hip hop. Like, my earliest memory of anything hip hop was a Spoon and G record that my sister had. You know what I'm saying? She was in the culture. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So,
Okay.
you could say my sister was really the lifeline to all of this on like the back channel. She was like basically programming me into this thing without, force feeding it to me.
Fortunate. Okay.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, she took me to my first, um, I would say it wasn't a contest, but it was something that was in Harlem. It was around the time they was taping I can't remember the name of the show, but I know Queen Latifah was hosting it.
Okay.
I met Tracy Morgan that night, and this is early Tracy Morgan. This is what up, Chief? The
Okay.
big cigar,
Yeah.
cigarette smoking,
Yeah. Yeah.
dude. You know what I mean? It wasn't the Tracy Morgan we all know now,
No, no. The
but
early on before Martin. I'm
it's
guessing you're talking about
early,
way before
way
Martin.
before that,
Yeah.
way before that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So again, meeting all these people during that time, but it was just like, yo, a lot of these things, like my sister was kind of there for, but she didn't even know I was like really trying to do this either. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
like, because like when I started off as a DJ, but like when I bought my turntables and my mixer, and then I built my first crate, I was like, yo, this is an expensive habit. Like around that time, singles was $4.25 a pop.
Hmm.
I was getting money. I was an entrepreneur in the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? So, we was selling firewood in the wintertime. We had a herb garden that we was selling herbs in the summer
Okay.
downtown on 14th Street at the
Hmm.
street fairs, printing t-shirts. So like I had money, but I was like, yo, this is a lot of money for this thing here.
Yeah.
And after that freestyle session at Seneca Center in Hunts Point, I was like, yo, it's cheaper for me to buy a pen, which is 50 cents, and I can get a paper bag for free and write my rhyme.
Word.
That's how that started.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? And then once I started getting into it, that's when I started meeting like Rakim and Kane, but not on
Oh.
not on the level of, yo, this is my man. It's
Okay.
just like, yo,
Okay.
I seen him at the Apollo. I seen him just
Okay.
on 125th Street chilling. Like I met Rakim in front of Mark 125. Like I said, oh, it's the God. Yo, Rob, what up? And I'm 15. You know what I'm
This
saying?
is fire already.
You know
This
what I'm
is fire
saying? And
already.
something as simple as, hey, yo, what up, God? How you? They gave
Yeah.
me a pound, and I
Peace
just
to the
kept.
God. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, I just met Rakim. That's wild. You know what I'm saying? So like I met my
Wow.
heroes early, then to finally circle back so many years later and become a contemporary of these people. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like Kane lives 10, 15 minutes from my house here in Wake Forest. I
That's
see Kane at
crazy.
the supermarket. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's crazy.
yeah. So, and I mean, I've gotten to work with a lot of people, man. And most notably, like my favorite, I'll say with Sean Price, man. Like, like you
Rest in
got you
peace
got
to Sean P.
you got to understand, man. Like Dug Down, I OD'd on their music, man. Like that was like,
Mm.
I every day listening to that. It was Nas and it was Dug Down. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like when you fast forward after all them years of listening to P as Helter Skelter and then as Sean P himself. And then for him to come down to North Carolina, work with my team, and then we start doing songs together. He's on my first album. I'm
Yeah.
on his album. You know what I'm saying? And then he was going to let me produce an album. If we was going to do the best of both Sean's, like he was going to give me my first break as a producer.
What?
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Right before he passed. Right before he
Oh,
passed, man. And lucky for me, my man Octane, he got it on camera. He was interviewing P, and he was like, "Yo, little birdie told me you're supposed to be working with Sean Don," and then he gave out the whole story, and I was like, "See, people thought I was lying because it was."
what?
But yeah, he said it himself on camera. He was like, "Yeah, we're supposed to do the best of both Sean's. I was supposed to produce the whole thing." Because the crazy part is, the year I started making beats,
Hmm.
and like I just sent him a pack. And then I didn't hear nothing from them for about a week, and I was like, "Oh, they must be whack." I was just gonna just wrap it up and just call it a day. And homie called me and he started cursing me out. He's like, "Yo, when you started making beats, blah 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 blah." Matter of fact, I want this one, and this one. I was like, "Word!" Like I had no expectation. I was
Right.
just, let me just see if I'm any good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yo, let's do this." And then,
That'd have
you
been my fan out moment right there while he cussing me out on the phone. I
Yeah,
was like,
it
yeah.
was so crazy because like me and people was so cool, man. Like he was a genuine person, man. You know what I'm saying? Like when he would come down here and record, he would call me up, not even on no hip hop stuff. He'd be like, "Yo, after I leave the studio, what up, man? Let's get up." When I fly to New York, yo, come to Brooklyn. He knows I'm the only Bronx dude that would go to Brooklyn Dolo. So he's like, "Yo," he's like, you know what I'm saying? You about that life, come out here. And I go
Right.
out there, we chill, then we go to the studio. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, it was just around the company. You know what I'm saying? That's what meant a whole lot more than
Gotcha.
us penning records together. You know what I'm saying?
Did you
But like,
ever get any records done with him when
yeah,
the whole time?
yeah,
Okay.
go listen to Jesus Christ Superstar. I'm on Hearing Aid. You know what I'm saying? I wrote the hook to that joint. You know what I'm saying? He's on my album Carnage. You know what I'm saying? He's on
Okay.
there
Okay.
twice. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we got records, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like,
But for that project that you guys were working on
oh,
together.
nah. Like
Okay.
again, like so
Okay.
Best of Both Sean's, we didn't get anything off.
Okay.
I, you know what I'm saying? Because, it was like shortly after, that's when he passed away.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? But yeah, but even after that, I tried my hand again on producing for one of my favorites. I just happened to reach out to, Drez from Black Sheep. I saw him do beats and what was it? Bars in the Booth with Premier.
Okay.
I
Okay.
made a beat right on the spot as I was finished watching it. And then I hit him on the gram. I was like, yo, what's your email, man? I just want to send you something. He sent me the email. I sent it to him. A day later, he was like, yo, I'm going to the studio. I'm writing to this joint. And I'm like, word? You know what I'm saying? Again, these are my heroes, and I don't expect nothing. I was just like, I'm just, taking the shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he recorded the joint. And then he's like, yo, a month later, he was like, it's gonna be a single, and I'm shooting a video. And he sure went and did both of those things. And I was just like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really on the hip hop scholarship my entire life. I've been doing a whole lot of dope stuff with a whole lot of dope, legendary people.
Do you
And
understand the environment that you in is where a lot of guys would like to be at, man?
understand, yeah, 100%. Like, and the thing is, like, I know exactly where I am. I know the road I've traveled,
Mhm.
and I don't take it for granted. It's one of those things where it's like I take inventory in my life and I know how blessed I am. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, this is the life I actually, asked God for. And it came to fruition. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, once I really got into it
Yeah.
and I saw it as a business, and I was like, all right, I really want to do this. And it happened. And I was like, I really want to work with my favorite artist. And it happened. You know what I mean?
The
So
facts.
like I've been
Facts.
in environments. I mean, I was there when Jay-Z recorded Threat. Like it was like those little moments
Hmm.
turn into something incredible every time. And I'm like, yo, this really happened. You know what I'm saying? I know sometimes I tell people I sound like Fat Joe. You know what I'm saying?
You got all the stories that people
I
don't
got
think ever
wild
happened.
stories, and it seems like, nah, like, how did you have all the time to even do this? Like, who are
Gotta
you to
be
even
there.
be in these places? I'm like,
Yo, that's what I
it
tell
was
people
supposed to
sometimes.
happen.
The shit is like you just don't know until it happens to you and you there. Just because I
Right.
told you a story and it sounds unbelievable, it sounds unbelievable doesn't mean
Look,
it didn't happen. It just sounds unbelievable to you because it didn't happen to you. You
I'm
weren't
gonna
there.
keep
You
it.
ain't see it.
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Sometimes it sounds unbelievable to me as it happens. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like in the
crazy.
moment as it's happened, I'm like, yo, this is really happening. I'm like, you know what? But like, at least I get to live in the moment, and I get to, praise the people that I'm in front of. So like, I like, of course, like Rock from Help Scout to come to my house. So we over there smoking for like 4 hours. I'm like, yo, I gotta pass out, dog. I need to
Right.
go to sleep
Right.
because we don't need to be smoking all these
Right.
blunts. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But I'm like, I said, you don't understand.
Give
I
me a
had to have a
timeout. Give me a
conversation with him
timeout.
on how dope he is.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So but it was like I got to be a fan
Hmm.
and and the contemporary at the same time. But it was like, look,
Fire.
man, like I didn't have to do the, I ain't trying to be on yours. Like, it's like, look, dog, I'm a fan at the end of the
Yeah.
day. And I know
Let
you're
me just
nice,
say
but
it.
I'm nice too. But
Yeah.
let my 14-year-old self, 15, 16-year-old self talk to you for a minute,
Yeah.
and then we get back to business. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But it's like, because I never thought, those moments would actually become a real moment. Like, you're in high school with the Jansport book bag on, headphones, and a Walkman.
The big headphone joints
You
on
know
with
what
the
I'm
CD
saying?
player
Like,
attached
look,
to
man,
you or
like
the
they
tape
have bombs
player.
like these. You
Yes,
know what I'm
sir.
saying? And I'm
Yeah.
like walking through the hallways, just spitting their rhymes and spitting my rhymes. And I'm like, yo, who would have thought? If I went back in time and told myself would be like, yo, son, yo, get out my face, you be lying. Word. Like, I know I'm good, but am I really that good? Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
To
You
be in them
can't
spaces,
you can't believe it until it happens to you, right?
nah,
Yeah, but here's the
nah,
crazy part though that you're doing the work in the midst of it. So as it starts to happen to you, you're not really paying attention to that moment where it hits you like, yo, I'm in the studio with Sean P.
nah, man.
I'm in here
Exactly.
with Rock.
Yeah, I mean, and then of course, what even more, I'll say a more sweeter moment is being on the road with my crew. You see the hat I'm wearing, this little brother. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
we met at Central in 1999. Nobody had deals, nobody had placements. We was just kids in college with one goal: make dope songs. It wasn't
Mm.
get a record deal. It wasn't go platinum. It was make dope songs.
Listen,
That was it.
y'all
That
niggas
was
set
it.
the world on
And we set
fire.
it off. We set it off, man, dog. Nobody better than us. You know what I'm
What?
saying? But like, but that
What?
was, but the fact that like, what makes that moment even sweeter than anything else is because we did this with no help. Like we
None.
didn't have a OG or a group of OGs when we started. The OGs came later. You know what I'm saying? We was just on campus recording on a computer. People didn't understand that when we used to, saying like play our songs. Certain people like, yo, what studio you was in? It was like, what you mean, what studio? We was in the dorm room on a Dell computer. Excuse me, like we're on
Crazy.
edit. We're on Cool Edit 1.2. If that no, we was on
No,
not 1.2. We was on the original article, the first one. So
wow.
if that thing crashed, you lost that session. At least 1.2 would pick up where you left off. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
like
but
that's
but y'all was putting out some good content though, man. I
that's
shouldn't even
all
say content, some dope music.
dog, because that's all we wanted to do. You gotta think about it, man. Like we was in school. It's like, and we had
College,
time.
right? Y'all was in college,
Yeah,
right?
we was in college, man. We was
Yeah,
at North Carolina Central. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Some of us was at Central. A few of us, was at North Carolina, NC State.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And then like the rest of the crew, like Crisis, he was in high school when I brought him to the crew. He was my intern at my radio station. I had a radio gig at the on college campus. It was
Okay,
called what was the name of the station. I can't remember. My man True was gonna beat me upside the head when I can't I can't remember the name of the station. But because he used to run that joint. But like, yeah, Crisis was my intern, and I heard the beats he was playing, and he was what 16 when he started coming around, and I was like,
okay,
you got to meet my crew, and
okay.
then the Just League just started forming even more, and then like as you can see, I'm rocking the
For sure,
name. You know what I mean,
for
but
sure.
for all of us to do what we did on those campuses to globally make an impact, like again, it's like with nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Take
yo,
take
these
take
these are
me.
what dreams are made of.
Let's
Straight
let's
up.
go back though, because I got questions about Just Us League and everything. I want to get into
Mhm.
that. All right, but go back.
Yeah,
The Technique 1200s. When did you
right.
finally get that?
I finally got my techniques. It was it 6 years ago? You
Okay,
know what I'm
okay,
saying? One of my mans, like I said, let me use the power of social media. I just went on Facebook and was like, yo, who got Technique 1200s for sale right now?
mm,
And my man hit me immediately. He was like, yo, I'll sell my joints to you for 900. I was like, you're lying. He was like, you're getting two techniques with slip mats, needles, flight
mm.
cases, and a mixer with the flight case. I was
For
like,
nine.
where am I supposed to meet you at right now? He was like, yo, meet me in Greensboro. I got on that
Wow.
highway dumb fast. I got to Greensboro, like it felt like 20 minutes. And Greensboro was like an hour and change away. I was like, yo, we pulled up right in front of Sam Ash. I
Mm,
gave him that money. He went into Sam Ash and then he bought a controller. Now he got multiple, saying techniques in his crib. Like he's one of them DJs. He's like,
okay.
he got a set here, a set there, but he was
Yeah.
like, you want a pair of turntables because he's seen I started DJing and he knows how connected I am with the culture and how much I really wanted them joints. He could
Hmm.
have he could have sold them for more, especially with them flight cases. You know what I'm saying? But he was like, nah, I'm gonna hook you up. You know what I'm saying? So
That
I
was
was
your first one?
that was my first technique, man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if you remember the video for Rampage, the EPMD video, the mixer that
Okay.
Scratch had
Okay.
in that video,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
that was the first mixer I bought back in 1990. That was 1990, 99. It was 1990, 1990 or 91. I forgot the year, but like that's when I bought that and those two belt drives.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I always really wanted to do this,
Hmm.
but it was like, yo, I can't. I mean, like, what I'm saying? It was gonna be an uphill battle to afford it. But then when I got everything, I was like, yo, my crew lazy. Ain't nobody gonna help me carry no speakers and no vinyl. It's
Right.
like
Right.
being the DJ for me at that time wasn't in the cards. But like when technology caught up and Serato became a thing, and then, I'm gonna tell you the God honest truth on how I really started DJing recently, like in the last, I think it was like 12 years ago. Um, I bought a controller from Native Instruments. You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
I only bought it for production. I was like, this because I started, making beats at that time. And I was like, all right, maybe I want to learn how to do scratch hooks. I ain't take that thing out the box yet. A friend of mine, my man, Reggie Winston, he opened up a barbershop in Raleigh.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw it on Instagram, and he had his grand opening. I was like, yo, congratulations, man. See, when you gonna let me come DJ? I was joking. That man said, yo, come Friday.
Wow.
I said, excuse me? So I was like, all right. Took the thing out the box, but I got no music, I got no speakers. I got on Amazon, I bought one speaker, I bought an EV 12-inch speaker, and I was like, all right, and cool. And I got the stand for it. And then I went to my DJ and he gave me like 800 gigs of music. And I went and did that gig on Friday. And then it became a thing. He was like, yo, you want to come back every week? He was like, matter of fact, come back every 2 weeks. He made a flyer for me and everything.
What? Are you
Like,
serious?
yo, a flyer Fender DJ. I'm on there. I was like, I had an official flyer as a DJ. I was like, all right, I'm on the ground running. I did the barbershop for about a month and a half. Then there was a thing called Packapalooza at NC State. And it's like, it's a big festival at NC State right on the campus.
Okay.
And he had his booth out there. And the funny thing is, where he was set up was where I first recorded my first song while I was down here with the
Okay.
Justin Lee before we start really like when we starting to form. That building, that's it was called North Hall. So that's the dorm room where my man had his room at, but that's where the studio was at.
Okay. Okay.
So we set up right in that parking lot. I played two songs. This white chick came up to my table, put a card on there, and was like, "Yo, my employer wants to acquire your services." I looked at the card. It was the trampoline park, Sky Zone. And
Wow.
then I took a meeting. I went over there, sat down with her like a couple days later. She, paid for my meal and then gave me the layout of what they was looking for. And then I had to stop DJing at the barbershop, and I had to DJ every Friday at Sky Zone. And
So
then once I
this
started
is
doing
it
that,
just yo, it just
yeah, once I
started.
started doing that, then I
That's
started
crazy.
doing nothing but corporate gigs. And then it was just crazy. Then I was like, I bet. You know what I'm
So
saying?
take me back because your guy helped you out though, right? Was that your first gig when he gave you the chance
Yeah,
to DJ?
yeah. That was my first DJ gig. I ain't never DJ in front of people before.
Mm.
I would front and play around while my DJ homies were DJing, and like
Yeah.
sound check. And I'm like, but I wasn't no DJ, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, yo, he gave me that opportunity and I hit the ground running and it became a
Wow.
business. You know what I'm saying? I do this full time now.
And so you go from that to doing corporate gigs.
I was doing corporate gigs, and then I started DJing for, NC State, then, Shaw University, Duke University. Then it was like private parties and then weddings. You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
and it's crazy how like it started off corporate. It was corporate for a long time. COVID happened. Then I was doing COVID parties, like, what I'm saying, like in the backyard during the summertime,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying, when everybody was like
Spread out.
spread around, whatever.
Yeah.
And then the world opened back up. It was private parties, and then weddings started to get real, real heavy. And then my corporate just kind of slimmed down. I was still doing corporate, but it was just more weddings and then private parties. Now I'm like, I'm weddinged out. So I'm doing that. I got a
Okay.
I got a karaoke residency at 10 Roof in Raleigh on
Okay.
Wednesdays, and that thing be popping. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's just amazing how this DJ career just keeps going up, and
Hmm.
then I just keep getting different type of experiences as a DJ. So like I never had to do the nightclubs, and I don't want to do nightclubs because ain't no money in nightclubs. They try to get you for a drink ticket. You know
Wow.
what I'm
You
saying?
you would
Like,
know
dog,
better than I would. I wouldn't know. I'm
I'm
not in
like,
no
dog,
nightclubs ever.
yeah, like one
Ever.
owner, I ain't even gonna put him out there. He tried to like lowball me, and I was like, dog, you're gonna pay me my money or I'm not coming. It's like
Yeah.
I don't need to be there. It's
And
like,
then doing the weddings as well, that they book
right,
those in advance. So
exactly.
that might
You
be
know
a
what I'm
year
saying?
to months out,
Like
for
he
you.
only booked me one time, paid me my money, but never called me back because he knows I'm about my bread. And I was
Yes,
like, I
sir.
come, I come with contracts. I'm like, dog, this is the contract. Here go the invoice. You
Facts.
know what time it is. I'm not looking for the look. I don't
Mm,
need the look. I need the money.
I
You
hear
know what
you.
I'm saying?
I hear you.
So, again, but it all comes down to my business savvy. Me starting off as a 13-year-old with a entrepreneur mentality, it was always about the money. I didn't
Hmm.
care what the what the business was. I just had to run the business right. And the business is me. You know what I'm saying? Like people like me. They like the way I do business. I know there's DJs way better than me in a 10 block radius, but
Hmm.
they ain't not getting booked like me because they ain't got the business savvy. That's all it is. As long as I'm not train wrecking records, I won. I just got to blend records together. I know how to pick records. I grew up around DJs. Like that's the thing that people don't understand. Like from DJs in my neighborhood, like my man DJ Smoke Black, one of the most incredible DJs I ever met. As a matter of fact, my sister gave him his first gig in my
Wow.
hood. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? So it's like, but I
Wait,
got to watch it. Yeah,
let's talk about sis, man. Let's talk
yeah,
about sis, right? Older sister, right?
yeah.
So what was her involvement? Was she just coming up on the music and just being outside? Was she just outside, just lit like
I,
that, and
I
motherfuckers
mean,
just gravitate to her? Or was she out here rhyming? What was she doing?
nah, you know what? I don't know because she's 10 years older than me. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? And that was a
okay.
different time. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, just imagine if hip hop started today, right? And we outside. What would you know what I'm saying? Like it didn't have to be, oh, you were rapper, you just knew people, you know what I'm saying? But like again, I was, 4 years old, 5 years old. When she was outside, I wasn't out there with her. So you know what I'm saying? I didn't see how she was moving and shaking. I just
Gotcha.
knew the end result. Like she just knew everybody.
Okay.
And the thing was, she wasn't trying to be on the scene. I remember she told me one day she came home and she was like, "Yo, they tried to invite me to be in the Afros video." And I was like, and I knew the Afros at the time, that's on the Jam Master Jay, you know what I'm saying? I was like, word, why ain't you going to the video? She was like, boy, ain't no groupie. It's like, yo,
Wow.
and it didn't register with me until I got older. I was like, my sister's smart. You know what I'm saying?
I
Because I
like that.
grew
That's dope. It's like, yo, I'm out here. I know what's going on. I'm around everybody, but I'm not trying to be a part of
she
everything. I'm
one
not trying to be in a
person.
mix. Yeah, I ain't trying to be
Nah,
in a mix like that. I
right.
fuck
But
with
she
that. I
but
fuck
she
with that.
knows everybody. You know what I'm saying? So it was just one of those things. So it's like, yeah, like I like, you know what I'm saying? I think I need to have that conversation with my sister. Like, yo, I guess it comes down to like, where she went to school. She went to Norman Thomas. She was downtown.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then she used to go to the clubs like the Garage and you know what I'm saying, all those spots, those big name spots in New York coming up. You know what I mean? So when you are in that coming of age era and then you outside, you get to just meet people.
Yeah,
Just like how
definitely.
it was for me. When I finally started going outside, I'm 16 years old. I'm in the mix. I see certain people, I meet people, and that's this. In my mind, I'm thinking that's what worked for her. The only
Hmm.
difference was she wasn't trying to rap. She wasn't trying to DJ. She was just who she was. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Just
It's
being
like
herself. Just being out
just
in the,
being herself with
yeah.
her crew, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that was it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So, like had I known then, I probably would have been signed in the 90s. It was like, I would have probably that's my advantage. But it's like, I was like, yo, you still cool with Tone? You still cool with Grand Pooba? Yo, put me on games. Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? But
Right.
like, it was just one of those things, me growing up and just finding my own way. And you know
Gotcha.
what I'm saying? And then realizing it later. That's what makes it so much so cool to me because it's like again, I was around all these people without knowing and then without being starstruck. And then when I'm like, dang, I knew all of this for this whole time.
This whole time, and
Like that's
it's
kind of
just happening
dope.
around you, and you don't really have to push it
Right.
or do anything.
And that makes me appreciate it even more because I didn't
Yeah.
have to see them being in the element of they got to put their mask on, they got to perform because they
Yeah.
outside in front of people.
Yeah.
They just at my house.
Right. It's just an
Chilling,
everyday thing.
drinking Kool-Aid. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like that's it. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those lives that it's like, wow, that was kind of dope. You know what I mean? So
All right. So you in college, right? At what point does are you around little brother? When does that happen?
oh, that was 1999. But you
Okay.
I think about it. So when I transferred to Central, there was no Justice League. There was no little brother.
Okay, because that's I want to build up to that. Boom, boom. Walk me through
Right.
all that. Walk me through all that.
So like, the league as y'all know, it did not exist. You know what I'm saying? So the name was probably something that was already floating around between Cesar Comanche and Ninth because they the ones that created the name of the crew. But there
Hmm.
was no crew yet. Basically, when I got there, that was I always call it the Big Bang Theory. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was just floating around before You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Like the
Just in
matter was there.
existence. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
just didn't exist together yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when like so you figure like when I got there, like a friend of mine, he went to Barber Scotia with me. That's another school in North Carolina, about 2 hours from here. Like I'm in Wake Forest, by the way, for people who, watching, paying attention. So like I'm in Wake Forest, North Carolina. Concord, North Carolina is about 2.5 away. So I went to that school in 94, and then I left in 97, and then I transferred to Central in 99. So my homeboy Anand, yeah, he went to Scotia with me, then he transferred to Central. He called me, he told me, yo, you need to come back down to North Carolina, man. It's popping out here. It ain't like Scotia. Scotia was a small school.
Okay.
Central, obviously bigger. And then he called me and I was like, I bet I'll come down. And then he was already promoting my name. He was letting people know I was on the way. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when I got there, I know I had battled like 9 people. It was like in a row. Like I was just dismissing them. Boom, 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 boom. Then a few days later, I met my man Joe Drama and at the radio station because he had a show too. So he was like, "Yo," he said, "Yo, you nice man. I want you to meet my man. He called himself Night Wonder. He make beats." And I was
Mm.
like, "Word, I need beats, B," because like I ain't had no producer. Like I had a producer in New York, my man Pavarotti. You know what I'm saying? He called himself Pav Bundy now. He from the Bronx. He lived down here now too. But like he was like one of the best producers I ever heard. And I'm like, dang, and I left. And I was like, I ain't got no producer. I'm cooked.
Wow.
And so we walking down the hill. And I think Knife was driving, and he pulled over, and then he introduced me, and then he gave me a tape, like on the spot. He was like, "Oh, word, boom," gave me a tape. He was like, "Oh, check that out." And I listened to the beats. I was like, I said, "Man, I'm on a hip hop scholarship. There's no way I found another producer this nice in
Mm.
just weeks." I'm
Mm.
like, "I bet." So I hit the tape, and I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna go right." And then one of my homies hit me. Was like, "Yo, you think you nice? You need to meet this kid Fonte." And I'm like, all
Mm.
right. And, I thought nothing of it. And I was like, all right, cool. Because again, it's a big school. And I'm like, what's the odds of me meeting this kid, named Fonte? You know what I'm saying? Then I'm at a basketball game. I'm sitting at the bleachers in the nosebleeds. Kid hit me on the arm. He's like, yo, there you go right there. Tay on the like on court side. Then Tay used to play football at
Yeah.
Central. So, like everybody that played that's hooping. So he in the front. And I'm like, all right, cool. He don't look like no rapper. But I was like, neither do I. He might be
Bruh.
nice. You know what I'm
Bruh.
saying?
Facts.
So
Facts.
so I seen him and then, thought nothing of it. And then I meet one of his homeboys, my man Osiris. I had no idea that he knew Tay. So I go to Osiris' room. We got the instrumentals going. Me and Osiris, we not battling. We just going back and forth, kicking rhymes, having a good time, just talking.
A little
Next thing,
cipher. A little cipher.
knock at the door. So the door's behind me. And then in comes Tay. I look over my shoulder. New York mind. Oh, they try to set me up, son. Okay, let me get ready. You know what I'm saying? I meet Tay, Matt cool. And then, we start talking. And then Beats is playing. And then it's like Osiris. I think he actually called Tay because he wanted to make us meet. I don't know. I never asked him. But it was just like he stopped rapping and Osiris is dumb nice. And I'm like, yo, why ain't he rapping no more? So
Right.
Tay start kicking around, I start kicking around. So we going back and forth, but we're not battling. We just sharpening steel.
Mm.
Then I knew it was on, not on some battle stuff, but I knew it was on to test how dope you are because he said off the top and started going. I was like, okay, we freestyled for dumb long. It had to be like 2 hours.
Wow.
Like we was going and it just nonstop. We was like going back and forth and basically like how Tay says in the Mr. Show, said my man Sean Don and I started the pundit. Fuck this, I'm gonna quit the football team tomorrow. Like that really happened. That was really a thing.
So it
You know
went
what
down
I'm saying?
just it
Like
went down like that.
it went down like that, but it
Okay.
went down like that maybe like 2 months after that initial meeting because then we started like building with each other. I met Pooh at the radio station with Joe Drama because they had a show together. And then me, Pooh, and Tay started like writing together. We had writing sessions and all that. Then we formed a group called Gimme. So I
Gimme.
always
Okay.
forget the original meaning of the name because we had different meanings for each, like we had a main one and then we had sub names.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was God, I murdered many MCs. So I was like, yo,
Ooh,
bro,
fire.
Yeah, yeah, we was
Fire.
really on it, man. But like, so when we started doing that, we recorded, I think, about nine songs. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? It's on the CD right now, unreleased. Tay only put out one song about maybe in 2008, I think. It was called The Finest.
Mhm.
And he just leaked it. It was a leak, you know what I'm saying? But
Okay.
like that was like the origin story of who we were. Then I moved back to New York, but like there was no foreseeable future when I was coming back.
Hmm.
So they thought like, okay, the group's over. Tay didn't want to do a duo. So he was like, I don't know. Then the story goes, he got the beat for speed. It was supposed to be Tay and Median rapping on that joint. Median was a no-show. Pooh was there. They heard, he heard the joint. He started penning. Tay started penning. They recorded speed, and it was like, yo, this is something. And then that's how Little Brother was formed.
Wow.
If I would have came back before that song happened, there would have been no Little Brother. It would have been Gimme. Now, I'll say the sound of Gimme was the prerequisite to what Little Brother is now,
Okay.
but I'm glad I did not come back because Little Brother did some incredible
Yeah.
things. You know what I'm saying? I was like, now would Gimme have done incredible? Yes, I believe that, but it would not have been the package that y'all currently have right now.
Because the package that we have now is all of you guys, you staying and everybody coming together and building around that
Right?
and
It's
chipping
it's,
away, right?
it's
Chiseling the
different.
craft.
Yeah, it's different, but it's dope, and I'm glad it happened this way. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of people used to ask when I got back on campus, it was like, "Yo, you ain't mad you're not a part of Little Brother?" I was like, "Nah, this was supposed to happen."
Yeah. That's where it's
I'm
supposed to
still a
go.
part of the crew. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need to be in the group to be part of the crew. Like, yeah, I always wanted to be in the group, but I'm like, yo, if I gotta go solo, I gotta go solo. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? But you
So
gotta
as
think,
those guys start to pick up steam, you still
yeah,
doing your MCing, you still MCing, rapping,
still I'm
doing
seeing,
everything. Yeah.
I'm still going. I'm on all them Little Brother records except
Okay.
for Get Back.
Except for
You know what
Get
I'm saying?
Back.
Like, except for Get Back. Get Back is the only time you don't hear me on a song or a skit or
Okay.
intro, but I'm on everything else. You know what I'm saying? But like, like you got to think about it. Like them doing what they did gave me an opportunity to be heard around the world on the Minstrel Show on their first commercial release, and that is a story on its own. Because originally Saigon was supposed to be on We Got Now.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And he did record a verse, but it just didn't work with the song. It wasn't
Okay.
that the verse was like, subpar or nothing.
Yeah.
It just didn't match what they were looking for. So they called Guru and they was like, yo, tell him to send another verse. Time was ticking. They got to turn in that album.
Mm.
Side never, sent his next verse. It was 11 o'clock at night. I was living in Raleigh. Tay called me. He was like, yo, Dunny, y'all come to the studio, man. And I was like, right now? He's like, yeah, I bet. Because little brother like to be in the studio late. I like to go in the studio in the mornings. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm
So
like,
you
all right,
you're not a graveyard shift guy when it comes
nah.
to it. Okay.
My mind works so much better in the morning. Like I'll
Gotcha.
wake up and get and start recording immediately.
Gotcha.
Nighttime, I want to do grown up things. You know what I'm saying? I want to.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Exactly.
sir.
So it's
Yeah,
like, all
I
right,
get you.
but so I got the call and I was like, I'm on the way. I got there like 35, 40 minutes later. I heard the beat. I heard their verses. I wrote mine probably like 20 something minutes. Did it in two takes. And the only reason why I did it in two takes for the first take, I had too much energy. Tay was like, nah, scale it back a little bit. And I was like, I got you. Done. But
It
the funny
happens.
part about
It
it is,
happens. I've done it before. You
you know how
attack.
to intro the song?
Yeah.
And he goes, back one more time. Sean Don, where you at, nigga? The intro was Saigon, where you at, nigga? Same thing.
Yeah.
Saigon, Sean Don, it was the perfect. We laughed for about 20 minutes because it was like he just went it in one take, Jake, that part, and it sounded like it was supposed to be me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It
Like,
just
yo,
fit. It fit all the way
it
through.
fit perfectly. He was like, yeah,
Yeah.
you were supposed to be on this record.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So, I owe Saigon a bottle of champagne for not sending that verse, man, because nobody would have known to that. I'll say at that moment, like I would have still got my just due later, but like, but that for that to be happening on that Atlantic release, that meant a lot more to me than anything. You know what I'm saying? So You
Did you ever
know,
say anything to Saigon about
nah,
it?
I haven't had a chance to like, to meet him yet. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Like, no, I have not met Saigon yet, but as soon as I will, the moment I will, I'm coming with a bottle or something. Like, yo, here you
word.
go, fam. What's this for, God? You not being on the mentorship.
So you moved you you stayed and you moved down to North Carolina then
Hmm.
and been down there ever since then.
Yeah.
It's a different pace from the city life of being in the Bronx or just being in New York, right?
100%.
Yeah.
It's a cultural shock. It's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm used to things being open 24 hours. I'm used to be able to walk to everything. I'm used to having multiple ways to get somewhere at any point in time. Like,
Hmm.
North Carolina shuts down. Like, there is no bus that goes past 11 o'clock here. You know what I'm saying? It's like, go to sleep, son. There's nothing out here but the devil. You know what I mean? But but yeah, so I mean, it took me a while to really accept North Carolina for what it is. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Now I wouldn't want to move. Like, I used to always want to go back to New York. I didn't really want to live nowhere else but New York. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? But because that's where I'm from. That's
That's where you're
home.
from. Yeah.
That's and I move like that. I got the pulse of the city still to this day.
Of course you.
But
That's
I can
home. That's
right,
home. That's where you're
but I
from.
can do everything I can do at home here in North Carolina with no noise.
Mm.
And I can move at my own pace. Like, I'm not rushing to put no music out until I feel like until I feel like I want to put it out.
And it's
If I
so
was in New
peaceful.
York, I'd be putting out music every 5 months. I'd be like, nah, I got to crush everybody.
Now you
I
got to
don't
do that
got to
every three
crush
months
nobody
now.
here.
You got to do it every three
It's like,
months
because at the
now.
end of the day, you could put out 10 records today. I put out my one. I'm still busting you upside your head. I'm like,
Yeah.
dog, I don't have to do the rat race. You know what I'm saying? And and I can think clearer. And I know there is no hurry up and put it out now because they'll wait. Now, I'm not
Hmm.
going to be on no Sade and not come out for 18 years, but like, you could wait a year. But I've been putting music out yearly for how long? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got wild albums. So wild albums and mixtapes. So, but I know, even though we're in this digital age,
Hmm.
I have a fan base, and I know who they are, and then I have their emails. Some I have their phone numbers. I can just be like, "Yo, new album,"
That's
boop,
dope.
hang
That's
up the
dope.
phone, and they gonna buy it. I make my own merchandise. This I made this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm about to get an embroidery machine so I can make these.
That's what I was just going to ask you. Have you? It seems like you've made that adjustment from the way things were to the way the current climate of making having music because it's all streaming. There is no more tangible copies of anything,
Nah, there's
hardly
always
ever.
tangible copies, dog. Let me tell
I mean,
you.
there are, but you have to figure out a
Yo,
way to
the
create
thing
to make
is,
your platform work for you.
when you understand who your fan base is, you don't
Hmm.
have to go over there and just be throwing darts at the wall, hoping something land.
Mm.
Like, streaming, like, pretty soon, I'm not going to stream anything. You know what I'm saying? Because streaming is for the casual fan.
Okay. Okay.
That's for the people that just like who's cleaning up the house and got music in the background. The physical product is for the actual fan.
Okay.
Whether they're going, because now you got to think about it. If they didn't have a turntable or a CD player or a cassette deck in their house, they're still going to buy it from me because, one, they know it directly supports me.
Hmm. Hmm.
Two, it's a collector's item. You can't download an experience. You can't download a signature.
Dope.
I mean, you
Dope.
probably can, but you know what I'm saying? It's different when it's on something that you can physically say, like, yo, I have this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this means something more than clicking on Spotify title or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you had to actively get up and get out to go get that. Or, like, you know what I'm saying? If I didn't sell anything online, I was like, you can only come and buy this at the show. That means you had to leave your house, go through traffic, find a parking space, and get into the venue, stand online to buy the joint. That means you are a true fan of mine.
And you took the time out. You made the time, effort, and energy to come out and fuck with
Right.
me.
Right.
100%.
So I will always
So that
tell
means it's
people
going on your own .com then,
it's on
right?
my, yep, goldeneramusicinc.com. I like everything. I have digital for sale. So like, if you don't, want to buy the physical, you can still buy the digital, but you're buying it directly from me.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? But then, of course, I got CDs, I got albums, I got tapes. You know what I'm saying? Vinyl, I got tapes, and I got the tape player to go with that. So it's like, And then like now, the new generation that's coming up, they're buying cassettes.
Hmm.
I'm like, yo, like we're in that orbit of it came right back. It's like my Fonte say, it's the 80s back. The 80s is back. So
Yeah.
it's like this is where
And I didn't think
people
that it would go back to cassettes, bro. I thought it would just go back to CDs.
the
I
thing
thought it would
is
go back to CDs.
the cassette was always a thing. It's just that, people was just buying it because it was a novelty. But
Hmm.
I'm like, yo, they still sell cassette players, right? Like, and you can get those things, customized.
Mm.
I was like, all right, some people look at me as the old man yelling to the void, but I'm like, all right, but watch when I start winning with this.
Yeah, but you know better because you're actually going through experience and you've done
Right.
the experimental work to see how it will actually pan out for you,
Exactly.
right?
And I know some of my people be like, yo, why are you telling everybody to plan? I'm like, dog, I want everybody to do it because this is when we can take back the culture.
There it is, right there. I'm glad you said that because now with the physical copies, right? It doesn't just become. I think you just said it a novelty. It don't become a novelty. It becomes a thing where now people actually want merchandise. They want to have that experience
Right.
of being a part of a team or being a part not just as a fan, but knowing that this person knows that I support his music, right? Not just
That
hitting the button and saying playing and it streams, but hey, I went and bought that.
But now you got to think about it in another aspect. They are experiencing the music on a different medium.
Hmm.
You're on a cassette, and you got to press play
Yep.
and just let it go. You can
Yep.
fast forward on there,
Yeah.
but it's not like you can skip like on streaming and on CD.
Right.
You just press that button to skip. You have to
You have to
fast
go
forward
through
and
it.
then time it to get to the next record. Like you might as well just play the record.
You
But
gotta
that
have the
makes the
patience to
artist
go through it. Yeah.
that will make the artist make higher quality music so there is no fast forward, only rewind.
Yeah. Because now you got to put out a better product
Right.
for the fans and for
Exactly.
yourself.
Yes.
So when they hear it, they go, yo, I had to hit rewind on that 50 times because he said a bar right here.
And
That
I
was one
can't
of the
get past that bar. I gotta dissect this just the way we used to do it back in the 80s and 90s.
facts, my
You know
nigga.
what I'm
That's what I
saying?
want to
So
hear. Yeah.
so me putting out my plan is to better the culture. It's like, yo, like if
Yeah.
you nice with it, this is where you need to go. We don't need to put it on streaming, man. Like, yo, you can really make your year by selling to 300 people and sell a bundle, sell a hoodie, a crew neck, a
Hmm.
t-shirt, vinyl, CD, tape, cassette player. $400, sell it to 300 people. Do the math.
And you'll be all right.
And then after you recoup what you put out, you take that, pay your taxes, you made your year on one release. And
Yeah.
then if you're smart enough, you do it twice a year. You have a release for the spring, you have a release for
For
the
the
fall.
fall.
So your springtime joint is the crew necks, a zip hoodie, t-shirt, some sunglasses, a hat. For the fall, a hoodie, a crew neck, a Scully. You know what I'm saying? Anything else that's wintertime themed, you put that out with your release. And
Yep.
then now you're giving people more things to experience your music with. Like,
Mm.
yo, if I'm outside in the cold and he got this album and it sounds like wintertime, oh, I got this fresh golden era scarf and the
Mm.
Scully. I'm out
Mm.
on the block. I got the gloves. I'm fresh. The drip is real out here. And I got the joints in the headphones.
That's
Like,
right.
yo, my man, nice, yo. Let me press rewind. You got to hear this joint. Boom.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
you saw the motion. You got to
Yeah.
hear this joint.
You got to
Take
hear
the
it.
headphones off, put it on somebody. Remember that? Remember how that
Yes,
felt
sir. And you had
when
to put
somebody
them
blowing the
on.
music? That's the physical. Let me put you on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it's like, yo, let me get a dub. Nah, you
Yeah.
got to get your own.
Yep.
Go to the
Yep.
homie website. You know
Yep.
what I'm
And
saying?
you
It's
have to
like,
stand
nah,
there and listen and bob to it and everything.
right. You know what I'm saying?
Dope
And that's
times. Dope
and that's
times.
just that's just my way of saying starting a blueprint on taking back the culture. And
Yeah.
it's the only way we don't have to deal with no middleman at all. We never did. We never
It's
did.
needed though. It's needed. It's
You know what
needed.
I'm saying? It's just that, like, yo, back in the day, our forefathers of the culture, they didn't know what they had. It was just something that they were doing in real time.
Yeah.
Like they didn't just say, yo, let's create hip hop, yo. It that was life that
Yeah.
was happening. And then it got coined
Mm-hmm.
into hip hop. Remember, they tell you themselves, this wasn't called hip hop when we started. It was something that they did. There's something that they lived.
Right.
Need that back because
Mm.
that's where the quality is. when it became a business, it started to dwindle. It was just that like when it started to become like a real certified business, we still had the remnants of dope artists
Yes,
that was
sir.
coming out because you got to think about it. New York had an immense stronghold on the game. It was like this is where it started and this where it's at. And you know the ego of New York City, we don't know what's going on outside our own wall.
Man, y'all motherfuckers be so blind and shit, man.
But you got to think about it. We had every right. It's like because
It
you got
was terrible though for outside artists,
but the
man. A
thing
dope
is,
ass MC.
but you got to think about the dope ones that broke through the wall, like Common, like Q. You
They were
had to be
hard.
exceptional.
You had to be hard.
You had to be exceptional. And then when
Yeah.
it was exceptional, we're not going to say, nah, get out of here. You ain't from here.
Nah. Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? You see how Common came in?
Yes,
He was
sir. Yes,
like,
sir.
nice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Open arms. He's like, come here.
Yeah.
A whole New
Q,
York
calm.
production
Yeah.
team. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the thing was New York was its own universe because we had to battle each other.
True.
Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Very true.
everybody, Brooklyn, like, and then Long Island, and then Jersey, like, dog, like, that was it.
Long
The
Island
majority of the
stat.
music coming from that.
Yeah.
So just by default, but you got to think about it as fans, we didn't, as a New York fan, we still accepted music no matter where it came from. If it was
Mm-hmm.
dope, it was dope.
Mm-hmm.
Listening to Outkast, we didn't care if they was from Atlanta. He was like, yo, they dope.
Hey, they said the South got something to say, man.
But that was before that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like he didn't need to say that to us. He was saying that to the industry. Because the thing is, when people was always saying, oh, New York was hating, no, New York wasn't hating.
Nuh-uh. Because during that show, if you listen to what he was saying, everybody started cheering.
You gotta think about it. Y'all was still going platinum and selling records where? In New York. If New
Yeah.
York was hating, you wouldn't have sold not one record.
Them
It was
niggas,
the
yeah.
radio execs that was hating on y'all, not the fans. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
it
So
ain't
don't
the it
let
ain't the
Big Gift get on these
fans.
platforms talk about, oh, New York ain't care about us. No, 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 we did. It was just those select people in New
There
York.
are some. There are some who have big ass egos though, bro. Don't act
Right,
like
but
they
I'm
didn't
saying,
have
but
it.
as a fan,
Yeah.
you didn't care about none of that. If you was
Yeah.
dope, you was dope. Period. Like that's it. Like nobody cared where nobody was from. It was just
Hmm.
that was the industry that they was fighting against. It wasn't the people buying the records. Because it's like, yo, if you want to go look at the truth, like, yo, everybody gets numbers of where albums were sold.
Hmm. Hmm.
I seen where my first album sold at. I got mad love in Baltimore. Where I sold more records in Baltimore than I did in New York, which is crazy. Like,
That's
yo,
that
on
East
my
Coast. That's
first
that East
release,
Coast love though.
yeah,
That's
but
that
I'm just
East Coast
like, yo, like
love.
it was Baltimore first, then New York, then North Carolina. Now it's like, wow. But I'm like, if we go back and look at Goody Mob, I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
where did you sell your records at? And when you see New York in that top five, I'm like, well, who's hating? Not the fans. So
Nah.
don't group us in with the people that was at the radio stations blocking you. We
Yeah.
was buying your records.
Yeah.
You know
The,
what I'm
the
saying?
fans, the
So
fans don't really the ones that support the music, they ain't gonna hate. It's those record execs that you got to deal
that's
with,
it.
man.
Because they knew that's where the money was at. And it was like, we focused over here. Now you got to think about it now. I mean, Atlanta's on the decline, but when Atlanta was popping, they wasn't trying to sign nobody from New York no more. They wasn't trying to sign nobody from the West and no other region. They was like, nah, everybody was moving to Atlanta because Atlanta became the next hub.
Yeah, they did.
So the industry is following the money. So now where's the money going? It's back to the West Coast.
And you know what I'm about to say because the shit I didn't like was when the New York rappers started doing the Atlanta shit. I was just like, yo, why don't y'all just go ahead, stay
And,
with
and,
what y'all got?
and the only reason that is because of the industry was in the way of them. And it was like, yo, New York radio was playing South joints. So the New York MC that was just who was like 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, who's just trying to get to the money, it's like I gotta do what I gotta do. Like they not looking for who nice. They looking for who got a melody.
Yeah, yeah.
So like, they became a product of their environment. And it sucks because again, when industry gets in the way,
They
you
fuck it up.
balance. You lose the balance.
Yep. They water everything down, man.
This is why music in the 90s was so revered, is because we had everything. Come on, we had Wu-Tang, we had Snoop, we had
Hmm.
Ice Cube, we had Too Short, we had Common, you know what I'm saying? Like we had
Yeah.
Uncle Luke. Like it didn't
Everything was there.
Uncle Luke ain't no dope MC,
Yeah,
but
party guy.
had music that created a vibe.
Hmm.
So we didn't expect everybody to be Rakim and Kane.
Yeah.
That's impossible. That's impossible. There's levels to this thing.
Let
So
me ask you a question about that. And I know I'm gonna cut you off. I hope you can
are you
hold your
good?
thought. All right. Do you think there was a plot to change the music to keep it from being socially and conscious and political, and switch it over to being gangster rap and
I think
everything?
so, but I think it's more than just that. I don't think that was prime number one. I think that
Mm-hmm.
was just like, hey, we could change the tide and change the narrative and keep, promoting the garbage. Because here's the thing. You can't duplicate Rakim, but you can duplicate the Migos.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I like the Migos. You know what I'm saying? But they ain't got no bars. They they, they can't go to the corner and rap, but they can go to them clubs and turn up.
And set it out. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the balance.
Mm-hmm.
We had Big Daddy Kane, we had Vanilla Ice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Vanilla Ice did what? He made you dance.
Yeah.
He didn't make you think. Kane made you dance and think.
Yeah.
We knew the difference. We can two things can coexist.
Yeah. Two
But
things
they
can
was
be
like,
true.
but on the money side of things, as an industry, if I can produce 100 Migos, I'm in business for a century. I can't produce 100 Canes. You know why? Because everybody ain't that dope.
Mm-mm.
I'm just as dope as Big Daddy Kane on the microphone, but I can't dance. I can't dance to save my life. So you know what? I am not a copy of Big Daddy Kane. It's over. It stops
Mm-mm.
at the booth.
There was
It's
one
like
big. That was one Big Daddy Kane. That was it.
I could get on stage and rock a crowd like Kane. Can I bust moves like Kane? Nope. Kane the
Not even
King.
gonna try.
Kane the King. I'm not even gonna try. I don't have Scoop and Scrap with me to even make me look good.
Mm.
If Scuba Scrap is behind me, I'm gonna still look bad. You know what I'm saying? Kane was the sauce.
Heard you. Heard you.
Kane had Kane is Albert James Brown.
Mm.
LL was able to dance. LL was dancing too. You remember in the Jingling Baby video? He was getting busy. You know what I'm saying? But it was like you can't duplicate these people, and that's
Yeah.
why everybody sounded different. Look how many people came out from the borough of Queens. Don't none of them sound alike.
Ooh.
Oh, none of them. Nobody sound like Nas. Nobody sound like G Rap. Nobody sound like L. Nobody sound like Tribe. Nobody sound like Tragedy.
Nobody
Nobody
sound like
sound like
Cormega.
Capone. No, you know what I'm saying? Like I could keep going. And the same thing for the Bronx. Nobody in the Bronx sounded alike.
Mm-mm.
From Diamond D to KRS One.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? From Pun, like we can do this for hours. We got this is like a 5-part series of just five. You know what I'm saying?
We have to revisit.
But when you listen to music now, you
Hmm.
can't tell the difference. Like you'll have some standouts, you know what I'm saying? But like Migos was a standout, but then they had copies,
Yeah.
but they just weren't as good as the Migos.
Mm-mm.
Like Migos was polished. They've been doing that for a long time, but we know where they got their style from. They got it from Bone Thugs, but it was different. But it was still directly descent from them.
It's in
But
there. If you listen, you hear it right away when
right.
you hear
But
it.
the
You
thing
know,
was,
like,
Bone Thugs was spitting bars.
yeah.
It just had the
So
melody to go with it.
let me
But
just say this about them.
it was all melody.
They got melody. All right. They do have melody, but there are bars in there here and there when you listening to them. I'm not gonna totally just wipe them out, but there are
But
some bars.
to the
It ain't
level
like
of
it
but
ain't
to the level of the
heavy.
conversation.
Yeah. It ain't heavy.
Conversation.
Yeah.
Now I'm not saying they ain't say absolutely nothing,
Yeah.
but they don't got no bars. When
Yeah.
we say bars, we know what we talking
Yeah. It ain't like I would put them up against I wouldn't put them up against you,
about.
myself, or
No,
anybody else
no,
that can
no,
really
they're
go
not
in
a
there
part of the
and throw down.
conversation.
Yeah.
But they were cool. They had a cool factor.
Hmm.
Can't front on that. It was
Hmm.
cool. They had
No,
that. They had the
yeah.
jewelry.
Yeah.
They
Fly
had
niggas. Fly
everything.
niggas. Yeah.
It was cool. And I'm like, all right, cool. I like that. Over there.
Hmm.
And come back over here with that conversation of, I'm nice. Like, no, 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 no. It's not the same definition of nice you think you're talking about. You
Yeah.
ain't nice. You're good at what you do, but you ain't nice. Big L is nice.
Woo. Rest in peace, L.
I'm nice. You ain't nice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But again, I wouldn't have so much to say about nobody if balance was a thing still.
And that's the thing. We don't see a lot of balance, man.
Because of industry. But now, look what's happening now.
Man,
You have all the legacy acts coming back out with albums. Ghostface is rapping like he's still in the projects.
I'm
He's
happy
still
for it.
that Supreme Clientele 2 is super dope.
I'm
Super
12
dope.
songs in. I haven't finished the
Look,
complete joint yet.
Kwame just put out an album. That joint is dope. And I was like, and it's dope because like I know what to expect from Kwame. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you know what? He made a fun record.
Hmm.
Cool. Slick Rick put out an album. Dope record. Raekwon put out an album. Incredible record. Like our heroes are coming back. So in the time of when everybody keep on saying, "Oh, this is a young man's game," like dog, when really
No,
was it a young man's game? Because when
it wasn't.
the people who started it was not 12,
They
they were
wasn't.
not 16. They was in their 20s.
I had DJ Pocket on my podcast, and we were talking about ageism. Him, me, and 606, we were sitting on here talking about ageism. And we're talking about, where do you think it come from? We said, of course, we know where it come from. It come from the industry.
Yeah.
It come from them saying, after you hit 35, 40 years old,
But
you got to
it
go.
it comes from that, but then it also comes from within though, because you got to think about it. LL Cool J was dissing Kumo D crazy about being old.
True.
But
True.
but that's a generation thing. Like they're always going to be young versus old.
Hmm.
But it just gets, you know, it gets louder in the echo chamber because
Yeah.
it's us against us.
Yeah. We're trying to compete.
You know what I'm
We're-
saying? And the thing is, we don't have to. Like, I'm not trying to compete with nobody half my age. Dude, I'm this Saturday, I'll be 49 years old. You think I care about what a 19-year-old rapping about right now?
Happy early birthday to you.
Appreciate it. But it's like I'm not trying to compete with none of them young kids because you know why? I'm not selling records to them.
Hmm.
So why am I competing for space? I don't stand on couches at the discotheque. I'm sitting on my sofa couch and counting distro checks. It's a difference.
Ooh.
It's a difference. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I like to stay home.
Hmm.
Young kids like to go out. I've been out already. Ain't nothing out there for me. You know what I'm saying? It's everything for me in this house. My wife and my son. I don't need nothing else. Pay me my money, get out my way. You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm not saying that I don't care about the new acts. I just want them to be dope. They don't gotta sound like me, but just be original, be dope. Be the dopest you can be.
Yeah. The
That's all I
originality.
ask for. It's like again, I'm not making this unrealistic um goal for everybody because like dog, I ain't rocking either. You know what I'm saying? Like as dope as I am, I'm not rocking him. So I can't expect no 19-year-old to be rocking either.
Mm.
I'm like, yo, just be the new Raheem, whatever you are, whatever your name is. Be
Yeah.
you and be dope. Be dope in your corner. Be the king in your dominion. You don't have to be the king of the world, but you be the king in your dominion. I don't care how big your dominion is. It could be a block radius. It could be, you know what I'm saying? It could be a whole borough. I don't
Yeah.
care. Just be the king of that.
Yeah. Because we went through that whole Lil phase and
Right.
all that stuff. I was like,
But
yo, yeah, I got
who
to
was
stand out.
who was the best Lil?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I
like
got to start doing something, man, because all y'all sound the same.
right. And that's the problem. It's like, you know, again, I don't care what you call yourself. Just don't sound like everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, again,
Facts.
because we was from that era of you got to be original. That's it. Everything else is everything else.
All
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
I got some questions. All right. Here we
Yeah.
go. Here we go. 5 artists you would like to work with, dead or alive. Hmm. Hmm.
Kane, Big, Nas,
Mm.
Royce the 5'9".
Ooh. Elza. Ooh,
Yeah,
that's a fire five right there.
yeah. And I'm pretty close to getting the Elzai. I'm pretty close. So I'm gonna see what's up. I got something
Yo,
because me you
Elza is dope as fuck, man. By the way, salute to
yeah.
Elza.
Nah, I got to meet the brother, man. And we talked and we connected on, you know what I'm saying, on another level, man. So I'm like, you know, I'm gonna make that call one day. It's just like I know it's not time yet, but when I got it, because I'm gonna cook up the beat for it too. So it's like, nah,
Mm.
like certain features that I want to do, it has to be on my production because it's gonna mean a whole lot more.
Okay.
It's gonna mean a whole lot more. Like if you really look back, I on paper, like no, just on in real, I do not have a little brother feature yet. I'm featured on Little Brother records. I don't have a Little Brother feature.
Oh.
And that's only going to come when I make the right beat to call Tay and Boom like, hey, I need y'all. For the first
Mm.
time, I never asked them to be on my records.
Mm.
I never did. And it's not like I don't want to feature from them. Like, you crazy? I want to rap with my brothers. You know what I'm saying? But like when I did my first album, Tay was featured on it, but I credited him as Percy Miracle. I didn't have Fontaine on the record. I had Percy Miracle on my record.
Okay.
You know
Got
what I'm
you.
saying? Me and Pooh got mad joints, but none of them are on my albums. I'm like, I got mad joints with Pooh on his records, mixtape joints. Like, yo, we got wild records, but I never had Pooh on my record. And I'm like,
And there's no specific reason why it just didn't happen. That's
nah,
all.
it just didn't happen. And you know what I'm saying? But like now it's going to mean a whole lot more, especially now. You know, they're not putting out no more records. They're not going on tour no more after this. So it's like for me to get that little brother placement, it means a whole lot. And it's going to mean something even more when it's on my beat. You know what I'm saying? So like it's going to mean more to me than anything else.
Got you.
Like I have to do something that has meaning for me. You know what I'm saying? So like of course I wanted them on my records, but I never really heard anything that was like, yo, LB got to be on this.
Hmm.
Because if they're gonna be on, it got to be equal or better than anything I've been on featured with them. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
So I hold Tay and Pooh at the highest regard. So I'm like, I'm not gonna waste this phone call. Like, I'm not gonna waste this phone call. Say, hey, I want you on the joint, and I don't want them to do it as a favor either. I want them to
Mm.
eat and be like, yo, I'm on it.
Right. This one's gonna be fire right here. Let
You know what I'm
me
saying?
right, let
Because
me sit
they'll do
down.
the record. They'll do the record if I ask
Yeah.
them. If I was like, yo, I got this beat, yo, I need y'all. They'll do the record.
Let me
But I
ask you about that. In the digital era, would you rather them be in the studio with you, or would you just rather them
don't
send
care
you the
if they gonna be
bars?
in the studio with me. Ain't no other way.
Bet.
Ain't no other
Bet.
way. I'm gonna go to the Tay house and record it.
Bet.
I'm gonna bring Pooh down. I'm like, hey, I got your hotel. Yo, I'm saying like, yo, nah, I need you for the weekend. We're gonna do this record. And then we're gonna eat after this. You know what I'm saying? Like, business as usual, but it's always family first when it comes to us. But like I need to be on that level when they hear the beat because there's a beat that I played that's on my album right now. I saw a tape open up, eyes opened up. He was like, "Yo, you did this?" I was like, and the song was already done. I was like, "Look, I'll take every vocal off this joint." If
Mm.
y'all in my mind, I was saying that to him, and I was like, "Yeah, I did that." But I was like, "Hey, if you want to rap to it,
Right.
you know what I'm
Right.
saying?"
Right.
So
Did you hint to it, or you just let it go? Like, look,
I let
no.
it go because I know the frequency he's on now.
Okay.
So I'm like, now I know what to make. So
Gotcha.
you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Because I mean, he did comment on a beat I did a while back, and I was like, this sounds like something that he would rap on. And then when I did this joint, and I was like, okay, I see where to go. Now I'm gonna make like 15 of these type of beats, and I'm like, which one do you like? It's
Right.
like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? And then I'll get that little brother feature on my record. But like it would mean that much more to me to have my crew on my album on my beat.
Fire.
You know what I'm saying? So
Fire.
and then to put it on vinyl. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you want this little rubber joint? See, I'm gonna play it smart. I'm not gonna put that out on digital. I'm
Mm.
like, and it's not gonna be on tape or CD. It's the deluxe version on vinyl.
Straight on vinyl.
Finian St.Omer featuring Little Brother. Only on vinyl. Vinyl $100.
Press up about 30, what, 30,000, 10,000?
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, let's go get them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's when it's like, because
Yeah.
I'm looking at scarcity and demand.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
again, this is mine. But I'm
So,
like, yeah,
I'm guessing around 12,000 of them, 15,
you know
and
what I'm saying?
then just leave it alone at that.
Right. But like, yeah, but
Y'all
that's
will
that's
figure it out.
yeah. But yeah, but definitely. So like, yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
Okay.
It's gonna have to work out that way. But like other than that, I wouldn't call because I don't really call in favors. Like I just like y'all like when I'm ready to work, I get the people on the record. You know what I'm saying? If you listen to all my records, you see everybody I had on it. But it was like it made sense. I got a gang of Pete Rock beats I ain't even used yet.
So for you, and it's not to say anything bad. For you, is that it wouldn't be hard to get them on a record
Nah,
for you. Okay.
nah.
All right. That's all.
Look, it ain't hard for me to get nobody on the record. Just to be honest, I mean, like just looking at my track record, everybody I got on my records,
You say
that was that
your
was that
character's
was
solid.
like everybody was like, all right, I'm on it. From
Yeah.
Skyzoo to Torre to Jean Grey to,
Hmm.
like, come on, like the list is stupid with me with the features. And I'm like, yeah,
Look,
everybody,
you ain't got to say nothing, man. I just think it's so dope to hear you talk
yeah.
about it, you know, and
And
it's not on a rap song, you know.
because the thing is, because none of this is favor driven. Nobody has to get a beat from somebody to be on my record. It's like
Hmm.
they just really rock with me and they know I'm dope. I know they dope, and we gonna make something dope.
Hmm.
In the story, you know what I'm saying? But like as I get older and really start to understand the art of selling records,
Hmm.
like nah, this has to meet this requirement for this to happen. Because I could have been called Elzai. I could have been called him, but I'm like, nah, not yet. Not yet. I need because when it happens, I want it to smack.
Mm.
Like I didn't see this coming. Even if I told you right now, people going to watch this podcast, be like, yeah, he told you he was going to do it, but when it happens, I didn't see this coming. You know what I'm saying? So again, because it's going to benefit me as a rapper, but then more so with me as a producer, because when they hear the caliber of artistry from the people I'm featuring on my records, from an Elzai, from a little brother, they go like, yeah, we gotta buy some beats from you because they sound incredible on your joints.
Mm.
You understand the sonics and the vocal tones of these people, and like this is why you chosen to be on these records. Like I'm not a
Yeah,
producer rap,
but look how long you've been doing it. Like, get that man
right?
his credit. Get that man
Yeah,
his credit.
it's that, and then paying attention and watching other people do it before me, so I can really understand how to do it for myself.
Yeah.
I mean, the same thing like with DJing, like you know what I'm saying. Like I had to watch
Hmm.
everybody I was going to school with, people I grew up with, everybody out because I had like in Hunts Point, it was nothing but DJs at Hunts Point, nothing but DJs. Like there was more DJs and rappers at one point when I was growing up, and I was like, yo, everybody's a DJ, and everybody got techniques but me.
Crazy.
Yeah, you got techniques on the Geminis. And I was like, and I got some Panasonic 12, some Panasonic belt drives. I'm like, I ain't no DJ, dog.
Speaking of DJing, take me back real quick.
Yeah.
Building your first crate. When did you actually do it?
I did it that summer. Like, so basically, um, well, I mean, I'll say, yeah, about like the summer to the fall is when I built my first crate. Because I was buying records like every week. I was
Okay.
going in buying like 2 to 4 records at a time. So I bought like, I think was Rampage. I think Rampage EPMD was the first 12-inch I bought to build my
Okay.
crates. I had that. I had Flavor of the Month. I mean, I had all the joints, man. You know what I'm saying? I wish I still
Okay.
had them. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, it's like yeah.
But you
Once I
said
built,
wish. You said wish you still had?
yeah, I don't have the records no more. We lost them years ago. We lost them, I
Okay.
think, in storage room or something like that.
Okay.
You know, between moving like all them years, and I was just
Got
like,
you. Got you.
gone. But
You got a crazy collection?
nah, nah, I
No.
just had the right songs. I had the right collection. I didn't have
Okay.
a crazy collection, but I had the right collection.
Got you.
You know
Got
what
you.
I'm saying? But and it was the right collection from the time. You know what I'm saying? So from that particular moment is when I accumulated all those records. Because again, I was, you know, I had money and I wasn't a sneakerhead. I wasn't like super into fashion. So I had
Hmm.
money to spend. And I was like, I'm buying these records. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But then once I started to get into that stuff, and I'm starting to buy like, Fahrenheit cologne from Dior, I'm like, nah, it's starting to change. I need to allocate this money over here now.
Let me get back into what I need to be
Now I'm back into life,
focused on.
back into the other
Yeah.
side of life.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's like I just knew at that point I made the right decision.
Yeah.
I'm glad I did stop, and then I was able to circle back, and then now I have the culture embedded. You know what I'm saying? Like one of my turntable is this the one? Nah, I got the other one is downstairs. My other joint, I got Maceo from De La signed my joint.
Mm. Okay.
So the plan was at one point I was bringing out my 12s when I was doing parties, but I got tired of carrying these drinks. I'm like, yo, a controller is so much lighter. But I said I'll only bring this out if I'm DJing a party with a legendary DJ.
Okay.
And that one year, me and Big Pool, because we are a DJ collective called the Jam Call Whatever. So we did a party with Maceo in Durham. And I was like, yo, can you sign my turntable, yo? He was like, with a Sharpie. I was like, oh, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Because that's part of the culture. And I'm
Yeah.
like, and I was like, yeah. I said, next time I DJ with somebody else that's like from that era, I'm bringing my turntables out and they signing it.
Fire.
Off, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was trying to book Cool Herc to come down here one time. I was definitely gonna have him sign my joint. You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? But I'm gonna get Tony Tone to come sign this because he wants me to book him down here. So I'm gonna book him down here. He gonna sign my table, and then that's gonna be the thing as I do this do this thing of ours, man. Like,
Yeah.
because again, it's all about the culture. It was more than just, oh, I want some turntables because I want a DJ. It was like, no, this is directly connected to my my origin story.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I didn't do this and then there was no urgency for me to go rap because of like, yo, if I stuck to the plan and was like, no, I'm going to build my crates, I'm gonna buy some speakers at 14 years old, I'm going to be a DJ, I probably would have never rapped a day in my life.
Okay.
And I'd have been fine with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'd have did what I mean, I really have fun DJing. Like, this is a dope job. You know what I'm saying?
I would like to think so. I would like to
Yeah,
think
this is
so.
a dope job, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I look at DJing differently from most other people. I look at it as the way I play music now, I'm in the era of where I'm sparking nostalgia. So when I
Okay.
see a certain age group, I know exactly what to play for that age group. I'm taking you back in time.
Right.
You're 16 again. That and your heart is beating differently right now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to play nothing new. You
All
know what I'm
right.
saying? My tag is Finn the DJ of the eras. So I know what to play in every era because every era I was behind the turntables watching the DJ do it, and I would watch the crowd. I would never really watch the DJ.
You
I
watch
was
the
like, yo,
crowd.
I just remember what they played, and I'll say like my superpower is I remember a set from a few DJs, and I'm like, yo, I can play their set back to front.
Mm.
I'm
And you
like,
see
yo,
the reaction and the energy when they playing
because
the
the
songs.
reaction I saw in '95 is the same reaction I seen in 2025.
Mm.
Because when I play people my age, I play that 1995 set. I'm like, yo, watch this. They're gonna go off. I ain't playing nothing new. I ain't gotta play no Beyonce. I ain't gotta play nothing but Mob Deep and and girls is dancing to break porn. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I know how to play and when to play it. That's the thing. That's the skill set I picked up. How to be a selector. I'm not a turntablist. I don't know how to scratch like that.
Okay.
I got big
I
scratches.
was gonna ask you that. I was gonna ask you that.
I can lead in, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I could do a
Hmm.
little, but I'm not going to the DMC no time soon.
Okay.
I'm not
Okay.
trying to battle Mr. Sinister. I can't.
Hmm.
He put his
Okay.
10,000 hours in 100,000 hours ago.
Okay.
I'm not catching up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to battle Jazzy Jeff. And I got to watch Jazzy Jeff live especially when Serato dropped. I seen him at the apartment in New York.
Mm.
And I was like, yo, what is Serrato? It sounded crazy. I like, what is Serrato, son?
Did he just look at you crazy? Or he just
And
answered.
he laughed at me, dog. And he's mixing you probably seen that routine when he's mixing the Billie Jean joint.
I don't. I can't
Oh,
recall it. Maybe I
I'm
have.
gonna send you a link. When I find it, I'll send
Send
you
it
the
to
link.
me. Send it to me.
So
Send it
I
to
saw
me.
him do that live
Mm.
years ago, like in 2008.
Crazy.
2008, 2008, 2009, something like that. I was like, man, whatever this Serrato is, Jazzy Jeff is the master of it. I was like, yo, come on, he made a whole new song.
I got another question.
Yeah.
Leading into the minstrel show, signing a deal for that album.
Mhm.
Is that something you all wanted to do? Was sign with the major?
I won't say it's something that anybody wanted to do. I mean, because you got to think about it. When Little Brother started, it was that was all indie, what I'm saying? But
Correct.
the end game wasn't, yo, we need a major deal. It was just
Hmm.
something that was there, like because they got courted by Jive, Atlantic, who else? Capital, I think. I think
Okay.
Capital wanted to sign him at one point, but Jive was really trying to make the move.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But so I mean, they was well deserving of that type of opportunity. But I don't think that was something that they was like, yo, we got to get that.
Got you.
Because again, we just wanted to make dope joints and do it better than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So, we had the internet on our side. Even though we was too early, like we was doing stuff that everybody else got to really benefit from, but we was doing it years before that.
My nigga,
'Cause at the time,
y'all had your own cult following here.
yeah, we had
You
our,
did?
we had the lawn. That was our own version of OK Player.
Mm.
I'm saying like we had our own community, man. Like,
That's a fact. Y'all did, bro.
I'm saying, but
Y'all
then
did.
once the music got leaked and it was on LimeWire, then the community got stupid big. You know what I mean? So people got songs. I'm like, how did you get that? Like, it's like I don't even have this, and I'm
Mm.
on the record. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's wild. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. I mean, like I said, man, we just wanted to make something that was going to last a lifetime, and we did.
Man,
We
y'all
really did.
did.
You know what
Y'all
I'm
made
saying?
some
And the fact that
classic shit.
we still doing it at the level we doing it at, you know what I'm saying, is something to be studied because it's like, most people who's been in the game 20, 22 years, 23 years is done for.
Yeah.
They're like, they got exposed to the radiation and they got beat. It's like, nah, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? But like for us, we have our own labels.
Hmm.
They got FE, who got for members only. I got Golden Era Music. We could do whatever we want when we want to do it. That's the
Fire.
beauty of it. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have to wait for nobody at all. And it's like we can finance our own thing.
I
Like
love it, bro.
why do we need a predatory loan from a major? I could just go to the bank and get a loan. What I need, 50K? Okay, I get 50K. Credit good? Go get that. You know what I'm saying? But like I'm in the space right now, again, my hip hop scholarship, God just gave me a hip hop scholarship. You know about TrackLib?
Yes, I do. I
I
do.
have a free account with TrackLib. I can clear any sample and don't pay a dime.
What?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna even ask you how that works, but that's
Oh,
fire.
I didn't understand how it worked until homie told me the extent of my membership. He was like, because like when I first hit him up, I was like, I said, yo, I'm formerly Sean Don of the Justice League. I just started making beats, man. I was like, I'm just trying to find out more information about TrackLib. He was like, wait a minute, you Sean Don? Hey yo, I got you. You got a free account. And I'm thinking like, okay, I just got, a basic free account.
Hmm.
So then when they changed their business model, like maybe like a couple of years later, about because like at one point it's like you can have the membership, but then you had to, I think there was something else you had to do to get the I guess the tokens, the download, the sample to clear it.
Hmm.
It was something different. But then when they changed the model, it was like, okay, we're going to do a subscription and that embodies all of this. So you got the subscription, you can do the joint, and then when you run out of tokens, you purchase more or whatever. So when I saw the change, I hit him up. I was like, "Yo, what's the what type of account I got, and what do I need to clear the samples?" He was like, "Oh, I don't think you understand. You have the membership, like the one everybody wants but can't get." And I was like,
Mm.
"What do you mean?" He's like, "Yo, you are good. You can clear anything." He's like, "When you run out of tokens, just hit me up. I'll replenish it." I was like,
Wow.
"Word." And that's when I started getting better at production. I'm like, "Oh, it's on now." So I produced my man Legacy whole entire album, 19 songs. And I was like,
19
"Yo, the whole
songs.
joint cleared." I said, "The
19
whole joint
joints. So
cleared."
now you just go in and you just so when you doing it, I don't want to go through the whole process. I don't want because I don't want you to say too much. You just send it to them.
Now, what it is, I mean, the breakdown is easy. So it's like when I download the songs that I basically want to sample,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it says at the top of the joint, like when I download the joint, it says, I forgot the message. It's like, but it's like I think needs to be cleared or some shit like that, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. So when the song is done, I upload the song because like TrackLib already kind of tracks what you download. So it's like, all right, when I upload the song and it says what song did you sample, I go to the bank of songs that I already downloaded. So like I got like a bank of like 200 samples.
Okay. Okay.
And then I already know the song, so I just type in the name of the song, it populates, and then I'm like, okay, cool. And then they said, how much of the sample did you use? Is it
It's five
1 to 5
seconds.
seconds,
Yeah.
6 to 10, or whatever? I'm like, yeah. And then they tell me how much of the percentage I gotta kick back. I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, I use the whole thing. Hit the 20, either whatever the percentage is. Take it.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gotta pay for it. I don't care. I'm not trying to hide no sample no more. So the fact that I got that type of situation, it makes me more, I'll say, in a creative space to where I'm like, I can do whatever I want when I want to do it. And now I have nothing to get in my way.
Yeah.
I'm taking advantage of this.
Absolutely. As you
And I'm
should.
on it. And I'm on it now. So like when I did Leg album, we finished it earlier this year. But like we went because like we started his album 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And then when COVID hit and we shut down, I went back and I remixed like half the album, and then we took some time off, and then that was like maybe I think I started doing that like in 2021, 22. Then we took 23 off, 24 off, and then he hit me. He was like, "Yo, we got to finish the game, yo." And then I was like, "Wait a minute, we got to do the whole album over." He was like, "What you mean?" I was like, "The samples that I did alone, we can't clear. I got joints from the Beatles and Aretha Franklin. I'm like, we gonna get clipped." So I was like, I got this track list joint. So I had
Mm.
Leg come to the studio, and then what I would do is I would play the sample. I would see him look up. I make the beat for him in 5 minutes, and I'm like, all right, I remixed the whole song right in front of him.
Mm.
And then there was times we had to go re-record the vocals because I'm like, yo, your vocal tone didn't match this beat. Just go re-record it, and then we
Mm.
just get a fresh new recording. And 2 months later, album done. I just got to get it mastered, and then we got to get the artwork done, and I
Okay.
can turn this thing in, and we're gonna press a vinyl.
So you got to go to your engineers and everything like that to make sure
Yep.
that that's done.
Yeah, I just got to put my budget together because
Okay.
so I'm like, just, here you go. I'm gonna put it out under Golden Arrow, and then I'll probably put it out under because I got two distro deals. I got it with Soul Spasm and with Empire, but more than likely I'm gonna put it out with Soul Spasm
Okay.
and
Okay.
then go. And then I'm
My
working on his album right now,
the Who album?
Median from the Justice League.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
So yeah, so I'm working on like maybe 4 albums right now, like between him, Median, myself, and then my man Eternal. And then I got these kids from Fayetteville that I'm working with. And then my man C Boogs out in Connecticut. I'm working on that right now. Like I sent him 9 joints on Saturday. He sent me 4 songs yesterday. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna finish this album in a week. So
I got another
I'm
question for you. I got
yeah,
another question for you.
yeah.
5 producers you would like to work with.
I mean, Pete Rock's at the top. Premier is at the top.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like I said, I have like maybe 15 Pete Rock beats in my Gmail right now from back in the day that
Yo,
haven't
you
been
gotta
released.
stop stunting on me, man. You gotta
Yeah.
stop stunting on me, dog.
Um, so Pete and Preem,
Pete and Pring.
um, Hollow Brown,
Okay.
uh, um, the last two is so tough. Hold on, gotta look at my phone. I got a list of these.
Yeah.
Hold on. Um, almost there. Okay, what's? Ant-Man Wonder. He
Okay.
was on the Verse of 5'9" record with Premier. If
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, that brother. Yeah.
Ant-Man Wonder. And then all right, so it's Pete, Preem, Apollo Brown, Ant-Man Wonder, Focus.
Okay.
Man.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I've worked with Focus already though, but but if it's people I haven't worked with yet, take Focus off.
Haven't worked with.
Take
Haven't.
Focus off because I got joints with Focus, but Focus is always on my list. Knots. No, no, I worked with Knots. Dang, because I'm released, but I no. Okay, so
Mm-mm. You can't have work with him, bro. You didn't
can't have
work with
worked with
him.
him. Okay.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Um, Battle Cat.
Oh, okay.
Battle Cat.
Okay.
That's a mean roster right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and it's so much more people. Like, it's. I mean, I'm surprised I didn't say Alchemist. Uh,
Oh, you didn't even say Al, the brother Al.
But it's like, but the thing is, I wouldn't trade nobody off my list though.
I'm not telling you to. I'm just
No,
saying
I know.
that
I'm just saying, but it's
that's a
like,
good one. That's top
yo, no,
tier.
it's serious. But it's like, yo, like it's after I heard what Apollo Brown did with Poole and Sky Zoo, I was like, I
Okay.
gotta work with this guy at least
Yeah.
once. It's like I gotta find a way. And I just met him about a week and a half ago. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We did a gig in DC.
For
Poole
sure.
is super incredible on the boards, but I'm like, nah. But yeah, yeah. No, but if I did have to trade, I would trade Battle Cat for Al.
All right. All right.
I
I mean,
would, but
it's just one of those questions I have to ask
yeah,
for those who are hip hop lovers, and been
right.
entrenched in the culture in the art for so long.
Yeah,
You
because
know,
it's different sounds that I want to like you like
there it
the
is.
sound that Ant-Man Wonder uses, man. I'm like, I ain't never heard nobody sound like this
Mm,
on production ever. And I'm like, and it's dope. It's not like it's just different. No,
yeah.
it's stupid dope and different. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah. Because I believe he can bring an element from within that I don't even know is there. There's
Gotcha.
something dormant lying here that I know if I got in the studio with him, he'd be like, he'll press play and then I got an Illmatic. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, wow. I didn't know this was here. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's just
Yeah.
like he produces on a frequency that's like none other than me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
For
yeah,
sure.
that's my five in production.
All right, my God. That's all I want because I just had to ask those type of questions.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you a bonus. My
Okay.
five DJs.
Five DJs. Oh,
Five
all right.
DJs. Mr. Sinister,
Mr. Sinister.
Jazzy Jeff, DJ Scratch,
Mm.
Kid Capri,
Mm.
and
Kid Capri
I
is
think about this.
fire.
Gotta think about this one.
Legendary Kid Capri, ladies and gentlemen.
Uh, Dang. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. I said Jazzy Jeff, Scratch, Mr. Sinister, Kid Capri,
Mm-hmm. One more. You want to just stop at
DJ
four?
Babu.
Say it one more time.
DJ Babu from
Okay.
Dilated.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's my
Mm-hmm.
five DJ right there.
Fire. That's a
That's it.
fire list too.
That's the cornerstone of hip hop, the DJ.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm good with those. I could go through a back alley fight and have my DJs cut everybody up. I ain't
Man,
worried.
you be good. You'll be good.
I ain't
Walk
worried,
out of there.
I ain't
You'll
worried
have a
about
couple
none of
cuts, but you'll be all
that. I
right. You'll
scared
walk
of
out of there
nobody.
safe. You'll
I
walk
ain't
out of
scared
there
of
safe.
nobody. I'm like regulators.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bro, this has been a dope ass interview. I don't want to hold you no more because I know
No,
you
you
got
good,
shit that
man.
you got to get.
I
I know.
appreciate it.
Yeah. You want to you want to keep going?
We keep going, man. Like, well, what else you got? I feel like the interview just got started.
Yeah. Let's get it. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So when you guys started branching off, you had Justice League, Little Brother, and everything. Did you ever feel like anybody you or any? Did you feel like you were slighted at any point in time?
Slighted in what capacity?
Just like as everybody, because you said you started out with Gimme, then it turned into Little Brother, but then as you
Right.
guys as they rose to a pinnacle or apex, and things started happening with the group and everything, did you ever feel like you weren't being included or in anything, or was you like, look,
Nah,
I'm gonna be over here doing what the fuck I'm doing?
nah. I was always like, because you gotta think about it. So like, yeah, it was me, Tay and Pooh,
Mm-hmm.
all the
Mm-hmm.
way to the breakup.
Yep.
When Tay and Pooh broke up, I was on the road with Pooh. I was DJing for Pooh when we was on the road.
Okay, so now I understand then. Boom. All right.
I was always with one of my brothers.
Okay.
But I
Okay.
didn't have a problem with Tay.
Okay.
I fell
That
back
was just
personally.
your guy. That was just your guy that you naturally gravitated
Right?
toward.
You know what I'm saying? But like, but the thing was like both of them is my guys.
Yeah.
But I just happened to be on the road with Pooh in real time
Okay.
when the split happened.
Okay.
We
Gotcha.
did a show that night
Gotcha.
with this on our mind, like, yo, the group over. Like,
Because you
we
gotta look.
we
Remember,
got
I'm an outsider, so when I see it and I'm hearing all of it, and then I'm watching the documentary on YouTube or whatever it was, and you looking
right.
like, yo, where's everybody else at in the background? All those guys that might have been around or still are around. Like,
Mhm.
how are they reacting to this? Like, what are their roles? Are they being pushed aside?
To be honest, I mean, you got to think about it. Everybody was, we grown men at this point, and
Hmm.
we not on campus no more. Everybody got their lives, so
Families and shit.
so it was what it was.
Yeah.
So it's not like Tay and Pooh split and divided the rest of the crew. Like, truthfully, the Justice League was dissolved before the listening.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
as the 15 that stood together,
Hmm.
that's why we had Hall of Justice right after.
Gotcha. Okay.
And Hall of Justice was a different variation than the Justice League. So there was only a few people from the Justice League that was over at Hall of Justice, and then everybody else was over there.
Hmm. Hmm.
But you know what I'm saying? So again, by the time Hall of Justice was over, and then by the time Little Brother was over,
Hmm.
it wasn't like, I'm over here, forget y'all guys over there. It wasn't even like that. It just was what it was.
Okay.
So like, my relationship with Tay, it didn't dissolve. It just got halted because I think for both because we I think we had the discussion before. I think obviously me and Tay had the discussion because I was DJing a HBO event in Durham
Hmm.
and he was there, and then we had a talk, and I was like, look, like I probably just fell back and kind of not said nothing because I didn't know the temperature to where you was on because I didn't want to. I think for me, I didn't want to cause something between us that wasn't even there.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So I was like, I roll with Pooh. I'm on the road with this man. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I'm not choosing a side.
Mm-mm.
Both of y'all are my brothers, but
Yeah. I was already on the road with my guy.
like he's my brother, and I'm on the road with him,
Yeah.
and we got a studio
Yep.
together. We got a lot of investment, what I'm saying, together. Like, so it's like I didn't choose a side. I
You
was
didn't
always
shoot
going to
shot.
decide whether y'all was together or not.
I'm fucking with all y'all, but right
Right.
now, in the meantime, like me and him got
But
all this going on, and
right. But it's like, I just didn't want to cause uh I did I was just it was to a point where because I already know some relationships dissolved prior to this, like me
hmm
and Ninth's relationship dissolved. I
hmm
didn't want anything to dissolve me and Tate. So I was like, you know what? I'll fall back until we just happen to meet.
gotcha,
And
gotcha.
then it's like, oh man, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like it actually happened. So
Yeah.
it was like I played the right hand, but it was just like, I knew it was at a sore moment. And I was just like, you know what? If he reached out to me, then great. But if I see him, like it's brotherly love. I'm not choosing a side. I've never did. I didn't even choose a side when little brother split the first time when Ninth was over here and Tay and Pooh was over here.
Woo.
At one point, I was still cool with Ninth.
Hmm.
That was the first person I met. I was, you know what I'm saying? Like we had a different relationship. But then when me and him dissolved, again, I didn't have to feel any type of way because I wasn't choosing a side. I wasn't playing both sides. I was like, yo, that's my man. Y'all are ones arguing.
Yeah. Yeah. I figured that out.
Y'all figure that out. I
Yeah.
tried to be the man in the middle and be like, yo, Like, what's up? Can we dissolve this? Forget the music. Can we
Mm-hmm.
just dissolve this? Y'all ain't ever got to be together again. I don't
Right.
care about that. And that's the same thing I told Pooh. I was like, look, I was like, you know what? I said, after watching, all of these groups break up and get back together, and I was like, it don't sound the same because it was for business.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, I said, if you and Tay ever did a record together again, but weren't cool, I would not back this. Like, I would back all the way out. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I don't want to be a part of nothing manufactured.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And
Which is
then,
understandable.
right, you know what I'm saying? But then, like, when they finally mended their relationship, there was no talks about music. It was just mending relationship.
Yeah. Just making sure
Then,
as men and men, they were
right.
good.
And then after that time span, then music started happening. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm all for it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Not like I was going to stop anything, but I wasn't going to be a part of it because it's like, if it was fake, I'm like, nope, I don't want to be a part of nothing fake. I don't
Yeah.
fake with none of the people over there.
Me in my memory going back to that, well, not to the breakup, because me, that shit I like to stay out the way of, man. I like to hear dope music and I like to see brothers. If y'all gonna fall out of or whatever, man, like let that shit be done. But because the media gets a hold of it, it becomes something else. But for me,
Right.
going back to that, to the music part of it, when they started doing, when they foreign exchange happened, I thought that
Mm-hmm.
was real dope to be working with what's the brother's name from overseas
Nicolay.
when they were working with Nicolay. I thought
Mm-hmm.
that was some dope shit. You know what I mean? To switch over and to do another vein of music and go that way. I thought that was just some dope ass shit to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right, cool. The music is still gonna be there. The brothers are still gonna be working. You got Sean over there. Like as long as everybody working, man, and they can still put out dope content, not content. As long as they still doing dope shit, like that's all, to me. That's all that matters.
But I mean, like, it all stems down to the magic, man. If
Yeah.
if if you're not, if the brotherly connection is not there,
Hmm.
because you got to think about it. None of us grew up with each other.
That's the other thing though, bro. Like, yeah, and y'all still were able to do that.
Right. Like, we didn't go to middle school, we didn't go to high school together. We met on campus. You
Mm,
know what I mean? So, but like meeting on campus at that time, we had a bond. And that was the magic. You know what I'm saying? That was the magic. We was the new version of native tongues without being childhood friends.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? So, once, that brotherhood dissolves. So like, yeah, I still wave the flag of Just League because my name is a part of this.
mm-hmm,
Just League is gone. Like
mm-hmm.
that's just folklore at this point. But a lot of y'all met me through this.
That is correct.
You know what I'm saying? So my namesake is a part of this. So yeah, like, we all have a stake in this. I'm probably outside of Comanche, I'm probably the only one that says Justice League,
Mm,
like straight up and down. Like, well, median will say it, you know what I'm saying? But like, it's like, but for real, like, nah, like at one point I stopped waving this flag. Like when we was done, I was like, nah. But I was like, but it took me to mature, and I was like, nah, the work I put in is a part of this.
absolutely.
Like I put in some work. I was like, people were singing my songs when I didn't have a CD out. I'm like, dog, my name was ringing through the triangle. I'm like, nah, this is my name too. So I'm taking it back. You know what I'm saying? And can't nobody stop me. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I'll wave the flag because this is the beginning of how the world was introduced to me.
That's a
So it's like,
fact.
yeah, I'm not saying, oh, you're going to see all 15 of us together again. You'll never see that.
I don't think. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know how you're gonna pull that off.
You'll never. If you can't see Little Brother as the group of three, you
Woo.
will never get to 15 of this. Never. You'll never. And that's over.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Little Brother's more over than the Just League. Okay. Like, at least I'm bringing the league back in sections.
Right. I work with them here and there. I can get them. I can get them around.
I can get a few people over here with me. You know what I'm saying? But there's a few that there's a couple that I'll never stand next to again.
Woo.
You know what I'm saying?
Yikes.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like, but again, it's not beef.
No, I'm just saying. I just know. I just
Nobody's
know.
throwing hands.
No, I just know how shit goes. Like, yo,
You know what I'm
you go your
saying? But
way,
it's
I go
like,
mine.
right. And that's exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? So like, y'all seen the movie, but then not y'all getting to hear from me, from my
Yeah.
perspective, the people I will not stand next to is just like, yo, it's just You stand over there. I stand over here. If I see you, I'll recognize you. I'm like, all
Hmm.
right, what up? Like,
I'll
but
salute you and everything, but
I
that's
mean,
it.
I probably won't do that. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? But if you come into my airspace, I'll acknowledge you. Because
Okay.
again, I don't have no beef with none of y'all. If I had beef with some of y'all,
We
it,
will talk.
it'd be that. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, but
We'll
it ain't
talk.
that.
Yeah.
Because it's far, and it's far from it.
Yeah.
It's just that, like, you know what? The way you do business, not the way I do business. And you over there doing what you doing and you winning, congratulations. I'm over here doing what I'm doing. I'm winning, congratulations.
For
We ain't got to
sure.
do this together. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And even before it got to that point, when it was just a little dicey, I was always on that. Well, if me and any one of them never did music again ever in life, but we can like, mend the brotherhood, I'll
Hmm.
do that.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
like work again. Like I don't, you gotta think about it, I never needed nobody.
Which you've
Sean
proven.
Dawn, Sean Dawn with or without anybody.
Which you've
My
proven.
my my future was already written. So, but it was like I was always in the space that I want to work with you. I don't need to work with you. I don't
Mm.
need. I want to work with certain people. You
Mm.
know, so I'll always be good. That's a fact. I'll always be good. I came in here on my own. I walk away on my own too. But
Talk
the
your
fact that
shit.
I want to be around certain people
Yeah.
is a testament. But I'm like, I don't need nobody.
Yeah.
I got who I need in this house.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
Talk your shit.
But but straight up and down, it was like, yo, like anybody that I had a falling out with, we ain't never got to do music with each other ever again. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna be out there taking pictures with y'all either. You know what I'm saying? Like we cool, but we ain't that cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
nah, you know what I'm saying? But like just for the sake of, you know, anybody feeling some type of way of like, yo, so we got a problem? Like, no, we don't have a problem. Because if we had a problem, I'd have solved it years ago.
Hmm.
Like I'm a win or lose type of person. Hey, look, like Prodigy told you, like I ain't a tough guy. I ain't a super guy. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna fight win or lose.
Yeah.
But we ain't never had to do this.
Yeah.
Not even now. Like we don't have to do this.
Yeah.
It's not even
It,
in my line of sight.
right.
I'm like, I don't,
If I need to talk to you about it and it's an
right.
issue,
But it's
then
like
I'll address it. But if there isn't no issue, then we'll
that,
just leave it as
right.
it is.
But at this point, I'm like, we don't got to talk about nothing. It's just like, all right, you stay over there, you
Yeah.
good over there. All right, cool. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like when people ask me about people, I'm like, I have no idea what they're doing.
All
And I
right.
don't, but none of them are doing. Like, and it's not, I mean, and it's not even on no hate or
Yeah.
petty, because I'm
Yeah.
busy over here.
You should be though. All the shit you got going on.
I'm pretty sure they don't know I even exist today.
Mm.
Because they busy doing what they doing. I'm like, we
As it
not
should
over
be.
here playing uh platform policies, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah,
Right.
they doing sucker stuff over there. Like, dog, I don't know what you're doing over there.
Throwing subliminal shots over the
I can't
internet
even
and
call you a
shit.
sucker because I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Can't call you anything but your name.
Yeah. I
And
love it. I love it.
that's the honest truth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't hold any ill will to nobody because I'm too busy performing, D. I'm too busy doing and making a way for myself and my
Doing
crew.
God's work.
You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, look, I booked this little brother tour. I'm too busy working on that. Like, dog, like busy. We having
Yeah.
a good time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We walking out. You know what I'm saying? We walking out on top over here. You know
All
what I
right.
mean?
Take me back. How do you end up in the studio with Jay-Z recording threats?
That joint is so crazy. All right, so I'll give you a backstory. So I'll say like around 2001. I remember telling Knife, I was like, yo, one day, man, you gonna work with Jay-Z, dog.
Hmm.
I don't know what made me say that, but I remember saying it. And he's like, word? I said, I think that day is gonna happen one day, man. I don't know when, but I know it's gonna happen. Then you fast forward to 2003, and I'm back in New York. I'm living in New York. I'm in the Bronx, and I had a dream. It was me, Dame Dash, and Knife in the studio.
Mm.
I wake up to a phone call. Knife is on the other line. I'm like, yo, what up? He's like, yo, I'm in New York. Yo, I want you to come with the baseline. And I'm like, yo, what's baseline? Because I don't be knowing nothing. I know everything and don't know nothing at the same time. I'm like, yo, what's baseline? He's like, yo, it's Jay-Z studio. I was like, waking up out of my sleep. I'm like, it was like 3 in the afternoon. I'm like, Jay-Z studio. I said, time out. I just had a dream. It was you, me, and Dame Dash. And he was like, yo, what? He's like, man, yo, can you meet me down on 77th Street?
Wow.
I was like, what time? He's like, you'll be here at 6. And I don't think he understood what I was saying to him because he was so excited that he's going to the baseline and he wanted me to go with him.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I bet. So it's 3 o'clock. I'm like, all right, I hang up the phone, shower, I get dressed, I jump on the train, I meet him down there, and then we hop in and we jump in, we hail in the cab. And then that's when we start talking for real. He was like, I was like, so we gonna see Jay-Z? He was like, yeah, because like his man hooked up the situation where he wanted to play some beats for the record. Because he was talking about him for dumb long. And then I think Quest was a part of the conversation with Hov, and he mentioned them, and it was like, yo, and then because Guru was like, yo, really, rallying for Ninth, and it was
Okay.
like, all right, tell him to come here. So we get in the cab, and then I tell him again about the dream. I was like, yo, it's ill how we doing this because I swear, like before you called, it was you, me, and Dame in my dream, and we was going through beats, and now we're gonna go play beats for Jay-Z. All right, we get downtown, we go upstairs, and then we get in the elevator, and then as soon as the door opened, this 7'5" Samoan dude had to be like 400 pounds, hands this. He starts walking, and then he stops. He turns around. They're just friends, and I'm like, yo, who is he? In my mind, I'm like, who was he talking about? Who was just friends? We just getting out the elevator, but all right. So we get out the elevator, and then we go to the waiting room with the pool tables and the TVs and all the signed jerseys hanging on the wall, NBA jerseys, whatever. 15 minutes later, Guru comes into the room. He's like, yo, he's ready for you. So Knife gets up and we're on the other side. So it's like we all the way down on the other side of the joint. And then the door to get to the studios on the other side of the hall.
Mhm.
Knife gets up, he walks all the way over to the door. He turn around, yo, man, come on. I was like, I'm just trying to stay out the way. I'm like,
Right.
this ain't my session. I don't want to be the extra man. Like, whose man is this? I'm like, I'm good over here. But he's like, nah, come on. I was like, all right. So we get up, then we walk into the studio, double doors open up. I see a girl with just wild hair weave and some pretty toes. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know who that is because I didn't see her face.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
make a right. There's a row of chairs. It's my man T Smith, who was filming the behind the scenes footage for the Black Fade to Black.
Okay.
He worked with Spike Lee, and he's worked with a lot of people, but like Spike Lee was like his mentor, and he's been doing films with him during that time. So he's filming that. Guru's at the chair, Jay sitting on the console. I forgot who else was there. Then it was me and Knight. And then I'm sitting down and I just look to my left. I look at the girl, it's Beyonce. And then I'm like, oh, that's who's just friends.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I'm like, we all playing the cool. I'm like, all right, Beyonce and this Jay. All right, we cool. And then Jay's just sitting on top of saying like like where all the physical
Console.
plugins, like he's on that side of the console, but like
Okay.
not the control board. So on the island. So he's sitting on there, sitting over there, hunched over, and he's like, all right. So Google puts the CD in, beats is playing, and then when he's ready to fast forward, he would do this. But he's listening to these beats. He's not just like 5 seconds, next one. No, he's listening.
Hmm.
And then he'll get up, go and whisper in her ear, and go back to the joint. A few joints, he do it again. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, yo, you got him, yo. He over there like nervous. Like, I don't know. I'm like, shit, you got him. I'm like, yo,
Right.
reel him in. And he listened to like two, like, because like bought the big CD, CD booklet of beats. I think he ran through like I think 2 or 3 CDs, and it was wild beats from these CDs. So I'm like, yo, we was in there for a while.
Okay.
And then midway, he says, yo, what's your story, man? And I'm like, yo, you in? He asking what's your story? And then he was like, yo, I ain't even gonna lie. He's like, If you would have been here earlier, like if you would have got here like a month or two early, you'd have probably had the majority of this record. He was like the things I'm hearing could have changed the trajectory of what this album would have sounded like.
Wow.
And then after he finished listening, he was like, "All right, we ready to go." And then he's like, "All right, we out." Then Beyonce, she get up, she make a round, she shaking everybody's hand. She come to me, and this is the funny part because this is when I felt like I forgot homie name from the Last Dragon, the Asian dude when he met Love with Charles, and she was like, "It's nice to meet you." And I'll turn to everybody. She said, "It's nice to meet me." She ain't said that to none of y'all.
Right.
We laughed at that for about a good 5 minutes. A couple minutes later, so Jay and B leave. You could feel the oxygen come back into the room.
Mm,
He was like, wow, that just happened. Then the door opens up. He peeks in. Hey, yo, you mind if I can take one of them CDs with me in the car? He was like, yeah. Gave him the CD, and we bugged out again. And then we took a walk. We left baseline. We walked to like 42nd Street.
hmm
And it was me, Knife, the other dude, and then T. Smith. And we were just like, yo, that was ill. And I said, I don't think you noticed the way he looked around at Guru and Beyonce was the way I looked, and then Tay looked, and then Pooh looked around when you play beats for us. I was like, yo, you really got him. I was like,
hmm
I said, I firmly believe you're gonna finally work with this dude. I told you. You know what I'm saying? So, and then we got invited to come back the next day. And that's when Jay gave the CD from the threat, for the R. Kelly song.
Okay.
And he was like, yeah, I want you to do something with this sample. Knife had the IBM laptop, saying the PC,
hmm
opened it up, put the CD in. 15 minutes later, the beat you hear on the album is the beat he made on the laptop.
Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun,
And
dun, dun.
Jay heard that joint, and I was like,
I can
you
wait for you to 5 in the morning
and it was like, yo,
with your smarts on the side of your garment.
and then we watched him do the whole, and then we watched him do the recording. And then the crazy part, so Jay usually kicks everybody out of the studio when he starts the Rain Man.
Hmm
So for some reason, I got left in the studio with Jay. I don't know how, but I had headphones on and I was
Okay.
sitting on the couch on the other side. And I had my head down and I'm writing. I'm in song mode. I'm writing while the beat is playing dumb loud in the studio. I'm still locked in. I didn't notice everybody leave because I'd have got up and left. I'm locked in. And then when I like 10 minutes later, I just happen to look up. I see Jay pacing. I'm like, yo, where everybody at? Music dumb loud. So I can say where everybody at and he can't hear me because the music is dumb loud. And I'm witnessing him mumbling. And I'm like, yo, there's no paper, there's no pen. The only paper and pen is in my hand. And I was like, dang, it's true. He do a big dude. Ew. I'm witnessing this whole thing. And I'm like, all
Crazy.
right, cool. Let me go back to writing before he, you know, snaps out of it and sees me watching him. And he'll be like, yo,
Right.
homie, get out of here.
Right. I go into fan mode and he catch it. Yeah.
Right. And plus, I was nervous because I was like,
Should I even be in here?
I just, just in here, just spying on him. And now I'm messing it up for my man. So I just put my head back down and just started writing again. A few minutes later, he's sitting down, his back toward the door. Beyonce walk in and she kissed him on top of her head. And I was like, I wasn't supposed to see that. Oh man, I'm in trouble. I was like, yo, I can just see the big bodyguard coming snatching me out of here.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I wasn't supposed to see that. But can you imagine if we had at that time, these weren't a thing.
Ooh.
If I had that joint to say, click 'em, I'd be a billionaire today. I'd have been like, what? Highest bidder. Who got the bread? I
Yeah.
got proof that Jay and Beyonce dating.
You had to run up out of there too. You had
What?
to run up out of
I was
there.
like, yo, I got the bubbles. I got to leave, son. I got to
Yeah.
leave. I got the
I got the BGs.
hello.
TMZ. I got all the proof y'all
Hey,
need.
I got the play by play. But
Yeah.
now, like I saw that, I just said, let me just put my head back down and just start writing. I ain't see nothing. And
Mm.
then, then I, saying like again, then like everybody came back in. He did the first verse. And the thing is, he did it in a couple of takes, but he didn't mess up. He didn't stumble on words. He would do the verse, and then he would be like, "Yo, Goose, start me again." It was just like no fumbling, no voice cracking. It sounded perfect, but he's like, "Nah,
Mm,
run it again." He did it like I think 3 times, and then that third take was the take that you hear on the album.
okay.
And then
So tell me this before hold your thought. Hold your thought. Does Jay punch in or does he go do the whole verse all the way
the
through?
whole verse, no punches,
No punching.
no punches, no
That's all I
punches.
wanted to know.
Yeah, whole verse, no punches. Then then he left, and then we came back the next day, and then he did the second verse. But what I'm saying, but I didn't sit in it to watch the second verse happen. I was out there playing Madden, and Jay could play Madden. Like my man Mike Burv came with us, and Burv is dumb nice in Madden. Jay, he swept this dude. I was like, yo, did you even score, Mike? I'm like, yo, what happened, son?
Mm,
They were bodying you, sauce money, dumb nice. I'm like, okay. I said, y'all, this all y'all do? Y'all just play Madden and rap? So,
probably. And gamble on it. Gamble on it when they
you know
do
what I
it.
mean? But then like I had a moment where I was like, before they started playing,
Hmm.
I had the CD in the PlayStation. I was playing it through the TV and I was writing. And Jay came out and he was like, yo, homie, to school if I play some Madden or I take a break. I was like, yo, the fact that he even asked, I was like, you could have just came and just took the CD and threw that. It's like, but like, yo, that just showed like no matter how, high in stardom he was still a human being.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, yo, this your house. You asking if you can use this your system. This ain't mine. I'm a guest. But you know what I'm saying? But it just showed, how like human he was. I was like,
Yeah.
yo, out.
His respect
Right.
and
You know what I'm saying?
etiquette was still there.
That
It
made me
wasn't it
more
wasn't based off him just being a fucking, a
right.
rap star or a superstar or whatever like
Right. He
that.
didn't play that game. And that made me
Yeah.
more of a fan. I was like, I got to see him on a human level.
Yeah.
Saying because I mean
Dope.
I met Jay before at the Rucker back in the day.
Okay.
He was cool then, see, he's cool now, but it was just like that's two different Jay-Z's.
Hmm.
Saying? But it was like, okay, that was ill. And then he the day three, that's when Cedric the Entertainer came and he had the legal pad. He was just jotting down the jokes, and then that's when he did the intro and the choruses.
But the rest, yeah.
Stretch. You know what I'm saying? He did all of that.
I keep garbage bags with me, nigga.
Yeah. And then the fly thing about it was Jay would ask all of us our opinion on which one would stay. He's like, what you think? What you think? What you think? All right, that's gonna stay. Like, I was like, he had us involved.
Hmm.
He didn't have to have us involved. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I was like, he understands the experience level. I was like, yeah, I know I'm not going to be the reason he's going to sell another million, but it's like he ain't going to lose this fan at all. Like,
Right.
yeah, he
To
understands.
to be able to sit in there
He
and go,
understands retention,
yeah.
and then he's smart enough to be like, I'm selling this record to people like you. What do you think?
Hmm.
I was like, yeah, he gets it. I was like, he understands, even down to the gun effect. There was like 5 different ones that we went through. And I'm like, yo, he's really asking us, yo, this one sound better or this one? I was like, yo, this is a master class. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, again, he could have just kicked all of us out and just did the record like how he been doing it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He
Yeah.
didn't need us in there, especially the extras. Like me and Mike could have been outside. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like Ninth is the only person that needed to be in there.
Very
Ninth and
true.
Guru. They're the only people that need to be in there. But
That's
he
it.
kept us in there and he asked us, and it was dope. And then he played us the whole entire album.
Mm.
He was like, yeah, man, we waiting for Madonna to come to do this part. I'm like, then he was like, yeah, I'm thinking of taking Lucifer off. And we was
So
like,
how much time did y'all spend there in total?
he was there for a week.
A week. And this man did the album in a week.
I mean, well, now he already had some of this. I don't know the timeline of when he recorded those songs,
Okay.
but
Okay.
he recorded Threat in I think 3 to 4 days.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Like, he was like on some, he come in, he gotta go. He gotta go. I don't know what he had to do after that, but you know what I'm saying? Like he had to do whole stuff.
Yeah.
But like, so like he took his time with the record. And then when he did the intro after like I think the second verse was done. And he didn't say got 9 lives, ninth wonder until like that was the last take of the intro.
Gotcha.
Man, knife head drop. He was like, yo, he said my name. It's over. I was like, you did it, fam.
And you
So,
told him. And you told him
oh,
that was his destiny.
I told you, you know what I'm saying? And that was it, you know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, we got to see that process and, we got to talk with everybody that was there. You know what I mean? It was a dope experience.
Hmm.
And then that was it. And then 7, 8 months later, Black Album hit the streets. So it was like, yo,
Fire.
pretty dope. You know what I mean? So
5 artists that we should know about.
Shame Gang, that's my artist.
Hmm.
He got a new project out right now. It's called 808s and Oil Stains. Oil Stains and 808s. No, I always get the order wrong. I think it's 808s and Oil Stains. That's out right now. Super dope. Um,
Is he leaning in that Kanye lane when he
nah, nah,
came in?
nah.
Okay.
Um he reminds me of me, like work ethic wise. Like he be in the
Okay.
studio all the time. He's bar heavy, but
Okay.
he knows how to write a song.
Gotcha.
And the stage show was super dope, man. So yeah, look out for Shame Gang. You can see him on I Am Shame Gang on all social media. I am Shame Shame Gang. Um, who else? Lena Jackson. She's super dope. She's out here in Raleigh. Super lyrical. She's an animal. She's dope. She's dope.
Say that name
Uh,
one more time so I put it in my
Lena
memory.
Jackson. Lena Jackson.
Gotcha.
She's fire. Hmm, three more. I'm trying to think of people that's like emerging. But I know people that already broke through. So um
Give me one more then. If it ain't got to be five, give me one more.
nah, look, my man KVR, he need to get back in the studio.
Okay.
And my man Mike Verse. Like I met them when they was like 15 and they was
Okay.
super dope then. They was Rockefeller dope at
Mm.
15.
Okay.
My God. So and my man P Shine, there was three of them. Two from Brooklyn, one from the Bronx.
Okay.
Look, man, yeah. When this thing airs, this is gonna be on YouTube or something.
So it's going to be the audio on a Tuesday
Uh-huh.
whenever it drops, and then after that, the audio the video will come out on a Thursday.
Yeah, because I'm gonna make
That
sure
same
I,
week.
I highlight this clip so I could bring back P. Sean, KVR, and Mike Verse. They rap so incredibly well.
Okay.
Yo,
I'll chop this up into a clip and then put them on there then.
them kid. When I'm trying to tell you, I would have put them against anybody.
Mm.
And then my man Shooter from Watson Ave, like he was beating everybody in the Bronx. Like yo, like him, my man Ready Rock, and and Icon Watson.
Okay.
Though they was under me. I had them like like they were like 2 or 3 years younger than me, 2 years younger than me,
Okay.
and we all saying like hung out in the hood, and went to the same high school. But when they came up, they started beating everybody. They was having like a lot of MC battles at the basketball tournaments over there on Watson Avenue.
Okay.
Yo, I'd have lined them up with anybody
Mm.
between them, KVR, P Shot, like yo, those six kids.
Nice.
I'd have put anything behind. But Jay-Z, who? Bring whoever you want. I'm like, yo, nah, shut them down. Like them kids was dumb nice. I wish they would all get back in the studio today, like for
Okay.
real. But people that's active, I mean, like I said, Shame Gang, Lena Jackson, um, uh, my man Eternal,
Okay.
representing Brooklyn. He's down here. Um, okay, what's my man's name? Jesus Christ, hold on. I see his face, but I can't say his name. Hold on. I got you. Give me a second. I got you.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Jesus Christ. Um, big homie. What's his damn name? Eric Lottery.
Gotcha.
Eric Lottery. He's
Gotcha.
originally from Fayetteville, but he's holding down Charlotte, North Carolina right now. Dude is nice. And you can see him on ESPN. Homie be playing golf.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, like he
He's a
started off
golfer.
just doing like funny videos of him just out with his homeboys,
Mm-hmm.
and he would do like like it would be like he would do like the voiceover of him playing, and it caught on, and a lot of golfers from ESPN be tagging him, and they be bringing him out to come play, and he'd be go. I'm like he'd be like he out there golfing,
Yeah.
but him in that studio, he a problem. That boy could rap. That boy could rap. So Shane Gang, Lena Jackson, Eric Lottery, Eternal. Um, one more. There's a lot. I mean, but and like I said, all these people from out here in North Carolina, man.
Which is
Um,
dope, which is another dope thing because that means that the hip hop scene is thriving out that way.
yeah. Well, I won't say he's emerging because he did a lot already. You know what I'm saying? My man
Okay.
Jay Gunn, he already he took off in his own lane. But
Okay.
I always got to mention his name. I'm gonna say somebody from North Carolina. He's from Durham, born and raised.
All
Jay
right.
Gunn. That boy can rap. I mean, he was been rapping since he was 14. He was special.
Okay.
He was out there battling grown men and winning. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying?
Have to check him out.
But yeah, but I think after he lost to Tato at the Iron Mike, duel at Iron Mike, but he was beating everybody. That kid was special. He's still special.
Okay.
Special. Like, yeah. So, what I'm saying? If you never heard of Jay Gunn, yeah, yeah, Jay Gunn.
Now I'm gonna have to go back and do my research then. I have to go do
Yeah.
my research, see if I can pull
And
him.
two N, no S, no Z's. You know what I'm saying? So, but like yeah, I'll say he's one of those that actually came up, did it his way, made it, succeeded, toured, sold out venues. You know what I'm saying? But like, I still, what I'm saying, I mean, he's doing like phenomenal stuff now. But you know what I'm saying? Like, he's like running for office and stuff like that. But I'm like, he's still young, man.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, he's super dope on that mic, man. But yeah, that's my five, and they from my head. I
That's
know I
dope
gave you
though.
names, but like what I'm saying, but those six, those are inactive. If they get active again, oh boy, I'm putting all the money on them.
Hey, but listen, you got artists that you know can get up and get to it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
that's all that matters.
definitely.
You call them up, and all they gotta do is just sharpen their sword again, and
That's
they
it.
get busy. They get
That's it.
busy. That's all that matters.
Yeah,
All right, my guy.
yeah, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very thankful for my guest, Sean Dunn,
Yeah,
also known as Finian St.Omer.
yes, sir.
Is there any music that you are working on or anything that you would like to plug before we get up out of here, my guy?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm working on my next album. It's called In the Key of Me. So it's produced by
Dope.
myself. That's why I call it In the Key of Me. That's coming. It's basically done. I just gotta redo a couple more of the beats. I just gotta, remix a couple more and then probably re-record. But it just slowed down because I was doing everybody else's albums. So,
Okay.
but Legacy album is coming. I'll say it was supposed to come out this year, but it looked like it's going to come out next year.
Okay.
That's called I Forgot to Say Goodbye.
Mm.
That's gonna be his final solo album.
Okay.
Median's album, no title for it yet. I just sent him a batch of more beats, and he's working on them right now. So that'll be out next year. As soon as he's done with it, we're getting that packaged up and get that out of there. Then I'm working on Eternals album right now. Um, my man C Boogs out of Connecticut working on his album right now.
Okay.
And then his man Eclipse. So
This
yeah,
man stay busy.
yeah. So like I said, I'm at a point where I'm like really, inspired to do all these people's albums because they're really believing in me as a producer right now. So it's one thing to come get a verse from me because they know
Yeah.
that's going to be a slam dunk. But the
Mm-hmm.
fact that they are, investing an album with me, it speaks in volumes. So I can't wait to put these records out. I can't wait. You know what I'm
Dope.
saying? So they are, I'll say the reason I'm getting really dope on the boards. So like if they didn't believe in me, I'd just be doing joints for myself and it would go but so far. But like the fact that other people are tapping in. It
Mm-hmm.
means a lot, man. So, I'm looking forward to working with a whole lot more people.
So now that means that you broadening what you're able to your capability then, right?
Yeah, and and the thing
Word.
is, like I say that the plus about it, me being an MC, I know how to make beats for other rappers. And then once I understand your vocal tone, like my
Mm-hmm.
beats don't sound the same on every album. Like the beats I gave Leg won't sound nothing like the beats I gave Median, and they won't sound nothing like the beats I gave to myself,
Mm-hmm.
and so forth and so forth. So it's like I figured out the sonics of making music. So I'm not just making beats, I'm producing albums, and I
Dope.
get it. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
like that because it means that now you are picking apart the sound when you're getting in the studio
right.
with them. You go, oh, that don't work for him. Let me switch it up and do something else.
Exactly.
Fire.
So that I'll say they are the catalyst. They are they're the gateway for me to entering a new phase in this game. So it's like, it's not like I even wanted to do all of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it just fell on my lap, so to speak, and now I'm just making the best of it. So for me to, make a stamp and further the legacy, I'm like, yeah, this is it right here, and it's fun to do. So, I'm really invested on doing this the right way. So if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it to the best of my capability, and I'm not trying to sound like none of my heroes, even though I would use them as training wheels. Like a lot of my beats when I started, I sounded like the RZA. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I sound like the RZA, and then I found a way to sound like Pete Rock. But then I was like, I found a way to be inspired, but to find my own signature. So like now I'm at that point where it's like, okay, I can sample the same thing Havoc sample, but don't sound like Havoc. You know what I'm saying? So like I figured out how to find my voice on these boards, and then you know, and then be respected in that field. So it's not like, oh, I'm just looping stuff and throwing the drum behind. Like I'm doing both. I'm looping, but I'm really chopping. You know what I'm saying? So
Fire. Fire.
so yeah. And then I'm gonna get into a beat battle one day. As long as I get past the first round, I won.
Hey, yeah. Yeah.
You could beat me in round two, but dog, I'm already the champion. I'm strong out here.
I'm
I
already
didn't
done
get
my
washed
work
up
out
in
here.
round one.
Right. I'm already done my
But
work out here.
I just want to do that just one time, just to say I did it. You know what I'm
For
saying? Just
sure.
how I could go. But I mean, I can pick battle beats for other producers, but I'm not like proficient in making a battle beat. I make songs. They
Okay.
just happen to be hard. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying?
Which is always a plus as well.
Yeah, but outside of that, again, if you need a DJ, you can go to findthedj.com. You want to buy this illustrious justly sweatshirt, you know what I'm saying? Golden Era Music Inc.com. You can go to
Hmm.
my Instagram, Golden Era Music Inc. And then you can go to Finian St.Omer, Finianstomer. You can go to It's Fin the DJ. So yeah, follow me on those joints and you can go down the rabbit hole and see what I'm doing out here. Because I'm kicking everybody ass out here. So I'm doing my
He's doing well for himself. He doing all
boy.
right. He doing well. He
I'm
doing all
having a
right.
good time doing it. That's the
He
thing.
doing all right. The nigga doing all right, man.
Yeah.
He doing all right. The nigga having fun. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna get too crazy with it, but he doing all right for
Doing all
himself.
right.
He doing all right. But ladies and gentlemen, my guest is Finian St. Omer, also known as Sean Dunn.
Yeah.
Brother, I
Oh,
appreciate you jumping on the podcast. Is there
one
anything
more
else?
one more thing, because we in real time. You said the drink's coming out at midnight. There's still tickets available for the Little Brother show in LA at the Fonda. There's only like, I think, 30 tickets left, so you better go get that right now. Seattle, there's still tickets available for the Seattle show at Numos, and then that's it. All the other shows are sold out. Chicago sold out. North Carolina been sold out. Yeah. So, if you want to go to the after party in Raleigh, that's on October 24th, right after the Little Brother show at the Lincoln Theater, which is sold out. But like
Damn.
I said, you in LA, 30 tickets left. You better get your tickets tonight. And then Seattle, get your tickets now. And then we'll see y'all at the shows. And I'm
Yes,
gonna be at
sir.
the merch table, so you already know what I got. And this hat is not for sale, not this colorway, but we got another colorway coming. This one is for the crew only. Everybody been trying to buy this hat. I was selling it for $1,000. I'm waiting for somebody to really put their money up.
Ooh, he ain't even
That's it.
playing with y'all either.
I'm
He
done.
ain't playing with y'all. And remember the mission statement when you're striving for greatness. God never puts you in the driver's seat if it's taken. Ladies and gentlemen, we are done. Finian, I appreciate you, brother, man. This has been dope.
Thank you.
Everybody have a good one. We done.